Whatever this delusion is that you guys will ever be able to compete with me, let go of it. Salute, MobTube. How is everybody tonight? Let's see. Who do we have? A little bit of roll call here. Antonino, Miss Can't Be Wrong, Dave, Casey Robinson, Davis Dean, William Brooklyn, Big Vic 1965, Jesse Roth, and Juanito Gotti. Only 15 people so far, but it's my own damn fault. I started this show about 17 minutes early. So I did that because I was ready to go. I didn't feel like waiting any longer, and I just wanted to get started. So here we go. I'll give it a few minutes to get some more people in here, and then we'll move on. All right, with this arrest affidavit and everything else we have to talk about tonight. Michael McDonald, what's up, my friend? Steve Cutler, Edward Everett, how you guys doing? Scott Lawson, what's up, bro? Yeah, I am looking forward to getting to this because I'll tell you the truth. Although I listened to a lot of the arrest affidavit, you know, as far as other true crime podcasters and stuff, reading it out, some news programs, things like that. I've listened to it. I haven't read it myself yet, and I'm excited about that because, as you guys know, I'm probably going to add my own little twist to it that nobody else really does, at least not the way I do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't beat around the bush. I'm not all terrified of lawsuits and stuff like that. I got to speak my mind. Consequences be damned. That's what sets me apart. So I'm definitely going to give you my opinion on this evidence that they've collected against Bryan Kohberger. And there's one specific thing that has me a little overly pissed off that I want to talk about. And we'll get to that in just a minute. Let me shout some more people out first. Stone Sailor, what's up, my friend? Paulie Walnuts, Antonino, Mini 560, Mike Barrios. Yeah, why not, Mike? I've been talking about it for, I don't know, a week and a half now or so. What do you mean I want to talk about the Idaho murders now? It's what I've been talking about, stupid ass. I can't stand fucking people, I swear to God. Jane Creek, how are you? So we're off to a to a hell of a start so far. I want to bring something up, but I don't want to do it yet. There's something, before I go on to read the arrest affidavit, there is something that still has me a little shocked, I guess you could say. I haven't told you guys about, but I want to talk to you about now that this information has been released, because I still can't believe this. Has he, Bay 8th? Well, feel free to share his information right now. I actually had a piece of information that I didn't take seriously at first, but now I do. And I'm going to talk to you guys about that too. But we've been crawling lately. It takes a little bit to get a crowd built up in here, so I'm just going to give it time because I don't want to go over all this stuff and then have people asking me what I'm talking about. So let's just talk for a few minutes, and then we'll get on with it. All right. It's been a people suck kind of day, FBS. That's, yeah, pretty much every day I've come to find. You know, I think I have a feeling what you are going to talk about. Well, go ahead and say it, Mini 560, because I think you might too. Oh, I actually messaged Mini 560 about it. So, yeah, but did I tell you, Mini 560? Well, I don't know if I told you all the details, but I'm going to tell everybody in just a minute. Michael Hensley, we love you too, my friend. Thank you for your service, sir. One of the roommates saw the killer and waited 6 hours to call the police. What the fuck? Well, that's one of the things. That's the thing that I'm going to focus on once I'm into reading the arrest affidavit. But there's something before that I got to tell you guys that another content creator told me about. I don't know what, I think it was the night I did my first show, which was December 26th. It might have been after that, but if so, then it had to be when I did my either my next one or the last one, which I think was December 29th. But it turned out to be true. So, like I said, I don't want to get into it yet, but I will. Oh, yeah. I thought you meant his name and stuff. Yeah, I knew about that. Hi, cool American mates. Peace from Aussie land. Ah, salute to you. Shout out to Australia. Glad to have you here, AKA. We're all right. We're all right. Shanna's sleeping. I'm listen, as far as feeling sick, I don't really feel sick anymore. Last night, when I ended the show, I had these headaches that come from COVID are not normal headaches. Even Shanna said it. They're different. You know what I mean? I can't explain them to you. They're much worse than regular headaches. And that's what I started getting during the show last night. And I had it until I went to sleep. But I don't really feel sick anymore. I'm just exhausted from it. You know what I mean? I think, like, for example, no matter what time I go to bed or what time I wake up, when I wake up, I'm out of bed. It's like a shot. You know what I mean? There's no wasting time. I don't fuck around and sleep and hit the snooze button and all that shit. No. But since this COVID thing, it don't matter what time I get up. I can't wake up. I just keep falling back to sleep. I'm just exhausted, physically drained. And I think that lasts for a while after COVID is gone. But this is what I don't get. How, you know what? Let's not talk about COVID. It's better we don't, for YouTube reasons. Thank you, Miss Can't Be Wrong. Donations would be wonderful. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad, William. Matt, I think someone set these kids up. This kid had a motive, of course, but he was not the only one involved. Someone planned this with him. What's up, FBS and chat? You're looking a little better. Thank you. I feel a little better, but I disagree with you 100%. I would bet my bottom dollar this guy. I think it would be insane to even question whether this guy is guilty or not. And as far as a partner, I don't think he had a partner. I'll tell you the main reason. I've been saying from day one that this guy is an incel. And he is. I mean, they've pretty much established that now. Give you a little piece of information. There's a group of incels out there as we speak raising money for his defense fund. Okay? He's another hero to them. Incels don't have friends generally. Okay? And this guy, too arrogant, too cocky, thought he was very, very smart. And we have no reason to believe that he had anybody helping him. Now, did his father possibly know about it afterwards, put some pieces together and decide to fly to Washington to drive 2,500 miles back to Pennsylvania with his son, just in case? Never know. That family, in my opinion, is pretty fucked up. Okay? I just saw it. Listen, let me just tell you guys this. Any of you who haven't seen Crime Circus, that channel is new to me. I only started watching it about a week ago. Props to that dude. His name is Drip Drop. No shit. I love this guy. Fucking professional as could be. True talent this guy has. Shows are perfect. Okay? And if you watch this guy, you will find out about all types of shit. The numerology involved in this case, a lot of strange things. Now, a lot of that numerology shit I write off, but some of it's a little too much to be just a coincidence, I think. But this guy's great. So Crime Circus, I recommend that channel. And something I just saw on his channel was a letter his mother wrote, I guess on the day of Ted Bundy's. Was it Ted Bundy's funeral? I believe so. And she wrote what a sad thing it was and how people pretty much have to be sick to be happy about the death of Ted Bundy. Was it Ted? I think it was. If not, somebody will correct me. But that alone is very, very strange. I think his father had some fascination with serial killers as well. There's a lot of, a lot of things that make me think that family is a little bizarre. Do I think his father helped him? No. I think his father, how could his father not have known by the time he went to pick his son up and drive back to Pennsylvania with him? How could he not have known that his son drove a white Elantra? I mean, of course he knew it, but how could he not put it together? Your son, who's studying criminology, who is obsessed with serial killers from everything we've learned, he drives a white Elantra. He lives 10 fucking minutes from the murder scene. Okay? I'm sure he was acting. Now, don't get me wrong. He probably always acted pretty strangely, but I'm sure even more so after the murders. I mean, how did his father not at least say, that's something? You know, Marianne, Bryan drives a white Elantra too. How far is it from Bryan's apartment to that murder scene at 1122 King Road? 10 minutes, huh? Interesting. Now, Bryan's decided to take an impromptu trip home. That's not odd at all. I think I'll fly out and meet him. Drive back with him. You know, I mean, if his father didn't at least think about that and say to his son at some point, maybe he did. Gee, son, you know, this doesn't look good for you. You know what I mean? Considering your field of study, your vehicle, your proximity to the murder scene. Has anybody been asking you questions or anything? I mean, did he not get a little suspicious? But then again, maybe he knew he did it. Or maybe he just assumed he did. Who knows? I have a feeling we're going to find out. I'll bet you this. If he didn't know, I bet you when and if his father testifies, and he'll most likely have to, his father is going to say that during that entire trip, Bryan talked about nothing but the Idaho murders. Guarantee it. Listen, I know the psychology of that guy. I've studied these incel cocksuckers, okay? They are so proud of what they did. They're so excited and hyped up by it. They feel like a man now. They have to talk about it. They have to talk about it. That's why most of them don't even go out of their way not to get caught. They want to get caught or they kill themselves right after, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I guarantee you he talked about this. Look, he couldn't stay off of the internet discussing it. Now, here's a funny story. You guys know about Inside Looking on Reddit? Most likely Bryan Kohberger. Hasn't been a single post from that account since the arrest. Okay? How about Papa Roger? Papa Roger on Facebook. Now, this was Bryan Kohberger. We're pretty much 1,000% sure of it. Now, here's the funny thing. About a week ago, I went on Facebook and I saw that true crime group talking about how, holy shit, this guy was here all along. Nah, maybe not a week. Whenever the arrest happened, a day or two after that. Okay? This guy was here all along. This is him. And it showed the Papa Roger account. And it had that avatar of that computer-generated image. It was like, not even CI. It was or CGI, whatever. It was a picture of him, like a Facebook-generated image or something, taken from one of his pictures, you know, but it was obviously his profile. It was his goddamn fucking face, okay? Now, as soon as I saw that, I looked at the name and I said, Papa Roger. Who have I been talking about, guys? As far as being king of the incels, Elliot Rodger, right? You think that's a coincidence, or you think he used the name Papa Roger as some sort of homage to Elliot Rodger? I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe Papa Roger spelled Roger with a D. Is that correct? So did Elliot Rodger. That's how Elliot Rodger's last name was spelled, with a D. It's not a common spelling for Roger, at least not as common as, just Roger. So now I'm going to tell you what I found out and what information I've been holding on to. I'm going to tell you all about it. And then we're going to go back to the Papa Roger thing. I can't say the content creator's name because I don't know that he wants me to. And that's why I didn't release this information sooner. Let me just see something. His sister was in a slasher movie where college students were killed. Yeah, see? It has been proven who is not him. Papa Roger? Fill me in, Mini 560. I'll take your word for it. I didn't see any proof that it's not him. While I'm waiting. Joe Bag of Donuts. Oh, Papa Roger's not him? Well, I don't know, but this is what I'll tell you. So I believe it was December 26th. Okay. I believe it was after my first video on these killings. Another content creator called me late at night. I was sitting here with my beautiful wife on the couch chilling. And this content creator said to me, "Hey, Chris, I just spoke to someone in law enforcement." Okay. And I was told that the sheath from the knife was left behind. Okay. Now, again, this was, I believe, December 26th, at the latest December 29th. But I'm pretty sure it was after the first video on the 26th. Okay. He said, and apparently that's where they got the DNA. Now, this is before Bryan Kohberger was even arrested. Okay. So I'm like, I don't know if I believe you. I got to be honest. You know what I mean? Not going to lie. Only because it wasn't that I thought he was lying about speaking to someone in law enforcement. I thought, what are the chances? Because I know how these things generally work. I've been under investigation a couple times myself. They generally don't let the entire law enforcement community know about evidence that they have. You know what I mean? And we're in, anyway, we're far away, okay, from where this took place. And you got to remember, at the time, nobody even knew who Bryan Kohberger was or that he lived in Pennsylvania. It just didn't make sense to me. I'm like, I don't know. Now, what I have been saying since the beginning, did I not say a million times there's no way he committed these crimes without leaving DNA behind? And the DNA from the victims will trace back to him? And it did, of course. Okay? But when he told me this story about the sheath, I'm like, I don't know. And I'll tell you the truth. I said it to Shanna, and Shanna was like, what are the chances, that somebody he spoke to would have that information? So I kind of let it go, and I never mentioned it because I honestly just didn't know. Number one, he told it to me, I don't think he told it to me with the intention of me talking about it on the show, at least not at the time. So I didn't. That's number one. And number two, I don't betray confidences. And number two, and yes, it's different now. There's a reason I'm talking about it now, but I'm also not telling you who it was who told me. Number two, I don't know. I don't even remember what number one was. Oh, yeah. I just didn't know if the information was correct. So I didn't want to go out there and say it, and then it turned out to be bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy that, last night I heard, I don't know if you guys ever watched 10 to Life with Annie Elise. 10 to Life is a good true crime channel. Very good. Last night, she read a text that she had gotten from, according to her, somebody who is, I believe, related to a person who is part of the investigation, something like that. And the text message was pretty detailed and graphic about one of the girls, I believe, Kaylee, being stabbed 54 times, a bunch of stuff. But one of the things was that the sheath was found under Ethan. Okay, so I'm like, damn, that information was right. And by the way, Papa Roger on Facebook, because I went through, whenever it was, a week ago, whatever, I went through all of his comments he had made. He was arguing with people on Facebook. And one of the things he was arguing about was that, according to him, the sheath was left behind, and that's where they're going to find the killer's DNA. So maybe this information was just out there more than I knew. Maybe Papa Roger was Mike or Bryan Kohberger. Who knows? I don't know. Or Bryan Kohberger was Papa Roger. Whatever. I don't know. But now we find out. Fuck. Yeah. The sheath. Sure enough. The only thing is, Annie Elise was a little bit off, not her fault. It wasn't found under Ethan. It was found next to Maddie. But yeah, they got the right off the little snap, that you have to open to access the knife. They got the DNA off of that. Yeah, if you watch Annie Elise's show, 10 to Life from last night, Miss Can't Be Wrong, it's very, very graphic. She said that they sliced Ethan down to his hamstrings. That it was very, very bad. It was very graphic and gory, What is this? Hey, Mike B. Again, you were too sensitive to let me finish and put me on timeout. I was saying. What? Who is Mike B? The fuck is this? I don't know. Why am I even paying attention? Mike B, just 2 weeks ago, you and Jeff Nadeau were talking shit on this exact case, and I quote, "No, I'm not following the Idaho murders. That stuff happens in my neighborhood all the time." Who is Mike B? Brandy Reeves, there is no Mike B here. And me and Jeff Nadeau were talking about this. I did say I don't follow the Idaho murders. That was a while ago. Jesus fucking Christ. Why am I even explaining? Stupid bitch. Look back through my fucking videos to December 26th. I've been talking about it since then. Why are you people on my dick so fucking bad? You want to blow me, Brandy? Why are you here? Fucking cunt. Why? Why am I even talking to you? And if you're saying that's my quote, you're a fucking liar. I never said that stuff happens in my neighborhood all the time, you stupid bitch. I said this stuff happens all the time. The reason it's such a big deal now is because it was 4 beautiful white people. Holy fuck. Yeah, that's what I said, stupid ass. Yeah. As in, and I still stand by that. But guess what? If it was 4 black people in the ghetto, you think we would have heard about it, dummy? No. Shut up. Get Brandy out of here. I fucking hate you, Brandy. Bitch. So anyway, back to what I was doing. I fucking hate people. Like you're a liar too. I said this always happens in my neighborhood. Bitch, go back to the show. I would never say something that ridiculous. Oh my God. Yeah, I stand by it, Brandy. Take a good look around. Okay, a little white girl who has wealthy parents goes missing in an affluent neighborhood, and guess what? It's going to be fucking nationwide, if not international fucking news until she's found. Okay, a little black girl gets kidnapped out of the ghetto. You think you're going to hear about it? No, very rarely, unless there's some sort of extenuating circumstances that makes it a very, very odd and uncommon type of case. This is common fucking knowledge. It's not politics. It's not about being a liberal or a conservative. It's facts. That's how life works in America, okay? So yeah, I made the comment. At first, I didn't realize how complex this case was. I didn't. I still can't believe it, to be honest. So at first, all I knew is that 4 beautiful white people who probably had wealthy families were murdered in a town where people generally don't get murdered. Therefore, it's a national news story. Okay? I had no idea it was this complex. Fucking assholes. It's like you can only me. Every fucking word I say, people hang on to like it's their balls. Ooh, did you hear what FBS said? Write that down with the fucking date. So if he ever deviates even a little bit, we could come in his chat room and nag him like a bunch of whiny little bitches until he changes his story. Fuck you, Brandy. All right. I don't know what happened, Polly Walnuts. I have no idea. And now you're getting way too complicated for me, Jason. Happens every week in my neighborhood. Jesus, where do you live? In Friday the 13th movie? Yeah, they lie. It's a lie. Look at my exact quote. You see how she changed it then? Oh, they're only covering it because it's white. Yeah. Dummy, yeah. But that's not what you said at first because you knew you were fucking lying. I have a bad memory, not that bad. Okay, look up my first video or the video with Jeff Nadeau where I said that. Show me where I said this happens in my neighborhood all the time. If I said that, I should be killed because it's fucking ridiculous. This doesn't happen in any neighborhood all the time. Fuck. Motherfuckers. No problem, Maddie. If you really, really appreciate it, don't be afraid to donate. 185 people. What I just did is the most entertaining thing you're going to see on YouTube ever, possibly. No, not ever. But on MobTube, at least not today. Okay, not today. You didn't see anything that entertaining. And I guarantee you the last thing and the next thing you see that's equally as entertaining, you saw it from me on this channel. Okay? Or possibly SoFlo. So, guys, donate, help your boy out, show me some support, please. My income has been cut so drastically in the last couple of weeks. I'm about to start living like Lee Cole, for fuck's sake. No second chance for Brandy. No, Joe, I've had it with her. Yeah, Jason, it becomes too fucking much. It really does. It becomes too fucking much. Meanwhile, are you calling me Mike B, lady? Who the fuck is Mike B? They are, Jason. Paulie Walnuts, 1999, Roid Rage, LMAO. That was great. I was laughing out loud. Thank you, Paulie Walnuts. Thank you for the 1999. This only happens in someone's neighborhood all the time if you live in war-torn Bosnia. LOL. Yeah, you ain't kidding. You ain't kidding. But yes, I get tired of people lying about me. Like, you're going to come in my chat and lie to a bunch of people that watch me every day and know I didn't say that. And then you're going to fucking lie to me about saying it? Fucking, well, what are you, NB's friend? You suck. All right. No, I'm good, William. I'm good. Sean Landon Clark, $10 for the rant. Gold. Thank you, Sean. Mike B here, and no, Brandy does not want to blow you. Well, if you're really Mike B, I want you out of here. I hate you too. I hate you just for being Mike B. Okay, because apparently you know Brandy, and Brandy's a pig who I fucking hate. So if you're Mike B, leave before we escort you out. And stay out. All right? Thank you. In Bridgeton, New Jersey, an African-American woman killed her child, then cooked the body in the oven and buried it in the backyard. Yeah, was that a national news story that we heard about every day that dominated the news cycle? No, it was not. It was not. Listen, this is America. All life might be created equal, okay, but it doesn't stay that way. People don't see all life as equal. Okay, some people, society just seems to care about more. It's the way it is, right or wrong. It's the way it is. Okay, so that's a fact. That's a fact. Joe Bag of Donuts, $5. Thank you very much, my man. Nikki Blade Clips, what's up, bro? That's a nice welcome back for Nikki Blade. He walked in on probably exactly what he was expecting to walk in on. The infamous Mike B. Instead of Mike B, maybe she was trying to say, what's that? That's just an M. Jason Mikesell, $20. Epic ran FBS. People are idiots. We can't have you living like Lee Cole. Yeah, please don't let me get to that point, okay? Fuck. Thank you, Jason. I'm a sad little boy. Your mother. Did anybody block this scumbag yet? Jesus. Fucking Mike, too. Mike's another one. Mike's so busy trying to fuck Brandy that he's in here simping for her like his name is Lee Cole and Brandy's name is Angel Gotti. Get off of Brandy's dick, okay? Stop sweating her. Leave her alone. She doesn't want to give you no pussy, Mike B. You're an incel, too, just like Elliot Rodger and Bryan Kohberger. You fucking suck. You probably stay behind a computer all day long in a damp, dark, dreary basement and jerk off to weird fucking horror porn on Pornhub and X videos and whatever other type of fucking degenerate website you stay laser focused to all day long, you cock-sucking piece of dog shit. I hate Mike B, and I fucking hate Brandy. All right. Many 560, you just made me cough. Is Brandy a white? I don't know. That's right. I don't know. Chad D, hey, FBS, that was awesome, but I can see it now. Lee Cole's next show, FBS, lashes out on poor Brandy B. Oh, yeah, that's going to be another example of women abuse on MobTube. Yeah, I know all about it. I'm good, Nikki. How you doing, bro? I got the COVID, you know what I mean? But other than that, Carmine, I live 20 minutes from Bridgeton and never heard that, but I did hear about the little girl who was kidnapped and never found still. FBS equals Mike B? Apparently. I have no fucking idea. I don't know. That type of thing never happens in my area. Anthony Aralotta. Yeah, the fat bastard. Never killed 4 people. Let's see. Joey Knuckles, $5 for good show, brother. Thank you. Neil S., $10 for trying to support a little bro. Always here for you, bro. Thank you, my man. I know you are, and I appreciate you greatly. Let me see. All right, I think that's it for now. Ilio's Pizza, maybe you can grab me a slice, talk about this, break bread, if you will. Break bread. Ooh. Tell us how you really feel, FBS. I don't hold nothing back. I got no filter. None. Zero. Zilch. Nada. I'm still positive can't taste my food. Oh, I can't taste mine either. I went to a fucking Subway earlier. Okay. No taste. No taste. Meatball fucking sub. Might as well have been eating fucking sandpaper. Goddamn shame. Joey Frakes, $5. My blood pressure is going up just listening to you, bro. LMAO. Good stuff. Thank you, bro. Thank you for the $5. FPS, cheer up, bro. Don't worry. Be happy. Lee Cole killed 4 hostess ding-dongs at once. Yeah, that's about it. Psycho, $5 super sticker. Thank you very much, Psycho. Thanks, Sit Down, a Crime History podcast. Yeah, definitely. After I read this affidavit, if you're around, I'd love that. Listen, Antonino, trust me, I didn't want to. I actually have decent pizza joints that are actually owned by Italians in the area. But after I did the show earlier, I was fucking starving because ever since this COVID, my appetite has been ravenous. I don't know why. I'm still not eating that much because I don't want to gain weight. But I'm eating more than I was. Put it this way, I haven't had a salad in a week and a half. But yeah, I was so desperate today. I went to fucking Subway for a meatball fucking sub. Could you believe it? It's probably another reason I didn't taste it. It probably doesn't have any taste even when you're not sick with COVID. Yeah, I know, Paulie Walnuts. I know. You'll do anything when you're hungry. Ilias. Oh, look at the picture. That's great. All right, guys, listen. Let me get on with this fucking affidavit. Now that Brandy and Mike B, whoever the fuck that is, might be me, I'm not even sure, helped, get the excitement up a little bit for this show. Oh, that's a shame, Joe. Don't even tell me that, bro. I can't smell shit. I'm telling you. Like, Shanna smokes Newports. The smell of them makes me nauseous. I fucking can't stand Newports. Okay, honestly. I smoked them when I was a kid. Never again. And the other night she had one. You know, I was laying down. She went to flick the ashes. It was probably fucking 10 inches from my face. Smoke blew right in my face. Didn't smell a thing. That's when I knew I was in trouble. Mike Barrios, me again. So what about that affidavit? Oh, this is Mike B. Oh, that's right. I got mad at Mike B in the beginning. I forgot all about him. All right, fuck it. Mike B, you can hang around. I don't care. Okay. I'm getting back to, or getting to, I should say, the affidavit before it's too late, before I stroke out on everyone. DJ Kaz said, I still have fatigue and congestion. Bro, me too, man. Fucking sucks. Oh, by the way, everybody, listen. Our man, DJ Kaz, is in the hospital right now. Bad news. I got to fill everybody in on this. He's having a pretty serious issue. He has a blockage. Okay. I am an atheist. I do not pray. I will send well wishes and positive vibes all day. But he asked me to ask everybody for their prayers. So if you do pray, please keep DJ Kaz in your prayers. And let's hope that our boy is back to 100% as soon as possible, because we love Kaz over here. Kaz, in a short period of time that I've known him, has been such a good friend to me. I appreciate his friendship every single day. Every time I hear from him, I'm happy to hear from him. I didn't like the news I got earlier. I'm very worried about Kaz. I'm sure you guys are as well. So, like I said, if you're somebody that prays, please keep DJ Kaz in your prayers. We love you, bro. You know it. All right, guys. I'm finally getting to it. Here we go. I'm going to read it like this. Let me take a sip of a drink, and I'll get on with it. All right. Exhibit A. Statement of Brett Payne. The below information is provided by Brett Payne, who is a duly appointed, qualified, and acting peace officer within the county of Latos, state of Idaho. Brett Payne is employed by Moscow Police Department, blah, 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 blah. All right. So on November 13th, 2022, at approximately 4 p.m., Moscow Police Department, Sergeant Blaker, and I responded to 1122 King Road, Moscow, Idaho. Hereafter, the King Road residence. That's what we'll be calling it from now on. To assist with scene security and processing of a crime scene associated with 4 homicides. Upon our arrival, the Idaho State Police forensic team was on scene and was preparing to begin processing the scene. MPD Officer Smith, one of the initial responding officers to the incident, advised he would walk me through the scene. OFC Smith and I entered the King Road residence through the bottom floor door on the north side of the building. OFC Smith and I then walked upstairs to the second floor. OFC Smith directed me down the hallway to the west bedroom on the second floor, which I later learned through Xana's driver's license and other personal belongings found in the room was Xana Kernodle's hereafter Kernodle room. Okay. Just before this room, there was a bathroom door on the south of the hallway. As I approached the room, I could see a body, later identified as Kernodle's, laying on the floor. Kernodle was deceased with wounds which appeared to have been caused by an edged weapon. Also in the room was a male, later identified as Ethan Chapin, hereafter Chapin. Chapin was also deceased with wounds later determined. Let me see. Hold on. Wait a minute. What happened, guys? Hold on one second. I got an issue here. Am I missing a part? Hold on, guys. Why is this happening to me? This appears to skip. Okay, all right. The next thing it says is county medical examiner, dated December 15th, 2022, to be caused by sharp force injuries. Okay. I then followed OFC Smith upstairs to the third floor of the residence. The third floor consisted of 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. By the way, to backtrack a little bit, that goes against what we originally thought, that Ethan was found on the floor or outside of the bedroom. Turned out it was Xana. The bedroom on the west side of the floor was later determined to be Kaylee Gonsalves, hereafter Gonsalves' room. I later learned from review of Officer Nunez's body camera there was a dog in the room when Moscow police officers initially responded. The dog belonged to Gonsalves and her ex-boyfriend Jack Decor. I found out from my interview with Jack Decor on November 13th, 2022, that he and Gonsalves shared the dog. OFC Smith then pointed out a small bathroom on the east side of the third floor. This bathroom shared a wall with Madison Mogan's, hereafter Mogan, bedroom, which was situated on the southeast corner of the third floor. As I entered this bedroom, I could see 2 females in the single bed in the room. Both Gonsalves and Mogan were deceased with visible stab wounds. I also later noticed what appeared to be a tan leather knife sheath laying on the bed next to Mogan's right side. When viewed from the door, the sheath was later processed and had K-Bar, USMC, and the United States Marine Corps Eagle Globe and Anchor insignia stamped on the outside of it. The Idaho State Lab later located a single source of male DNA, suspect profile, left on the button snap of the knife's sheath. As part of the investigation, numerous interviews were conducted by Moscow Police Department officers, Idaho State Police detectives, and FBI agents. 2 of the interviews included BF, that I assume stands for Bethany Funk, and DM, which would be Dylan Mortensen. Both BF and DM were inside the King Road residence at the time of the homicides and were roommates to the victims. BF's bedroom was located on the east side of the first floor of the King Road residence. Based on numerous interviews conducted, and stay tuned, guys, because this is where you're going to see me possibly go off. Based on numerous interviews conducted by MPD officers, ISP detectives, and FBI agents, as well as my review of evidence, I have learned the following. On the evening of November 12, 2022, Chapin and Kernodle are seen by BF at the Sigma Chi House on the University of Idaho campus at 735 Nez Pierce Drive from approximately 9 p.m. on November 12th to 1:45 a.m. on November 13th. BF also estimated that at approximately 1:45 a.m., Chapin and Kernodle returned to the King residence. BF also stated that Chapin did not live in the King Road residence, but was a guest of Kernodle. Gonsalves and Morgan were at a local bar, the Corner Club at 202 North Main Street in Moscow. Gonsalves and Morgan can be seen on video footage provided by the Corner Club between 10 p.m. and November 12th and 1:30 a.m. on November 13th. At approximately 1:30 a.m., Gonsalves and Morgan can be seen on video at a local food vendor called the Grub Truck at 3 a.m. Okay, so I don't think you guys know most of this. Let me get on to this. DM and BF both made statements during interviews that indicated the occupants of the King Road residence were home by 2 a.m. and asleep, or at least in their rooms, by approximately 4 a.m. This is with the exception of Kernodle, who received a DoorDash order at the residence at approximately 4 a.m. Law enforcement identified the DoorDash delivery driver who reported this information. DM stated she originally went to sleep in her bedroom on the southeast side of the second floor. Okay, before I was under the impression that her bedroom was on the first floor where Bethany Funk's was, but apparently not. DM stated she was awoken at approximately 4 a.m. by what she stated sounded like Gonsalves. Now, pay attention here, guys, because this, for any of you who haven't heard it already, this is going to make you feel a certain type of way. Let's just say that. You're not going to be happy. DM stated she was awoken at approximately 4 a.m. by what she stated sounded like Gonsalves playing with her dog in one of the upstairs bedrooms, which were located on the 3rd floor. A short time later, DM said she heard who she thought was Gonsalves saying something to the effect of, "There's someone here." A review of records obtained from a forensic download of Kernodle's phone showed this could also have been Kernodle, as her cellular phone indicated she was likely awake and using the TikTok app at approximately 4:12 a.m. Okay, DM stated she looked out of her bedroom but did not see anything when she heard the comment about someone being in the house. DM stated she opened her door a second time when she heard what she thought was crying coming from Kernodle's room. DM then said she heard a male voice say something to the effect of, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." Now, I have a feeling that what she heard was probably more like, "I'm going to kill you." That's just my opinion. But who knows? Okay, this is, rude Irish. This is very weird behavior. Okay, now listen. A lot of people on YouTube are nothing like FBS. Okay, that's probably good for them. But they, are very, very careful. Hey, I don't want to victim blame. I don't want to say, I don't want to say anything that might sound mean. I'm not going to victim blame either. DM, Dylan Mortensen, was a victim of this as well. Okay, to some extent. I'm sure she's going to live the rest of her life with guilt and everything else. But I am not going to fail to point out how fucking bizarre it is that she did nothing, okay, after hearing all these things. But wait, that ain't shit. It's what comes next that might make you throw up a little. Okay? Let me get back to this. Sorry, guys. At approximately 4:17 a.m., a security camera located at 1112 King Road, a residence immediately, it's coming up, immediately to the northwest of 1122 King Road, picked up distorted audio of what sounded like voices or a whimper, followed by a loud thud. A dog can also be heard barking numerous times starting at 4:17 a.m. The security camera is less than 50 feet from the west wall of Kernodle's bedroom. Now, here we go. DM stated she opened her door for the 3rd time after she heard crying and saw a figure clad in black clothing and a mask that covered the person's mouth and nose walking towards her. DM described the figure as 5'10" or taller male, not very muscular, but athletically built with bushy eyebrows. The male walked past DM as she stood in a frozen shock phase. The male walked towards the back sliding glass door. DM locked herself in her room after seeing the male. DM did not state that she recognized the male. This leads investigators to believe that the murderer left the scene. You fucking believe this? DM. After hearing crying and a dog barking and someone saying, Kaylee or Maddie or someone saying, "There's someone in the house." After all that, she sees a man in a mask that doesn't belong there, in black clothing. Okay? She closes the fucking door, locks herself inside, and I don't know, goes to sleep. I want to see what you guys think, but let me read this first. I can't afford to miss a super chat. Bradley Fountain, $9.99. DJ Kaz, I pray for you to get better and for God to put his arms around you and your family and to bring peace and comfort to them. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Very, very nice of you, Bradley Fountain. Thank you for that, and thank you for the $9.99. DJ Kaz is our boy. If anything happened to DJ Kaz, we would all be devastated, and we can't have that. You ain't going nowhere, Kaz. We won't allow it. Let me see. This is a horror film. Yeah, it's a horror film. It really is. Okay. He had to be covered in, I don't know what that is. Had to be covered in blood. Yeah. He fucking had to be covered in blood. Had to be. There's no. Listen, he slaughtered those 4 people. There's no way he wasn't covered in blood. But let's just say he wasn't. He didn't belong there. If you're DM, okay, you've opened the door twice. Each time you've heard something suspicious, something that shouldn't be happening. Somebody crying, the dog barking for no apparent reason, somebody saying that there's someone in the house. Now you open the door a 3rd time, and here he is, and you didn't call the cops? Or, how about this? After some time passed, and you felt like you're safe, he's gone. He's definitely gone. You didn't go upstairs and check on them. Now, listen, I don't want to be too hard. She's a 20 or 21-year-old girl. Like I said, she's a victim. I'm not victim blaming. But this is not right. This is not normal. This should be questioned till the end of time. Why did this happen? Why was it hours until the cops were called? Why? And listen, I don't know, and I highly doubt that any of those people could have been saved if the police and paramedics and all that were called right away. But we'll never know. We'll never know. I'll tell you why it bothers me. Yeah, I don't know if I should go this far because you guys know me. I'm going to get nasty. But this, I'm sorry, this infuriates me. This infuriates me. What could the fucking excuse possibly be? Possibly be. And then from what we're hearing, the 911 call the next day said, oh, and I'm sure it wasn't DM that called. I don't even think it was one of the roommates. I think they had somebody call, but they said a roommate is unconscious. We can't get them awake, whatever. Okay, so forget the first time, the second time, and the 3rd time you open the door. Including the 3rd time where you actually saw a man who doesn't belong there, dressed in all black, most likely covered in blood with a fucking mask on. But the next day, when you can't seem to awaken your roommates, you think they're unconscious? Goodbye, baby, I love you. This doesn't make sense to me. This doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. I mean, how could you do this? Does anybody else see something really wrong with this? Stone Sailor has a good point. Most kids today are so fucking clueless. But this has got to be a character trait. I mean, I can't imagine that if any of the other roommates heard something like this going on, that they would have just locked themselves in their room. This is fucking bizarre. This needs to be questioned up and down. I mean, if I'm a cop and I hear this, my first question for you is, were you in on this somehow? Did you know this guy? Why did you not act in any way? Now you're a young girl. We understand. What are you going to do? Go after the guy? No, you were right to lock yourself in the fucking room. It's the fact that you didn't do anything after. Why didn't you call the police? Why didn't you call anyone? Why didn't you go upstairs eventually and check on your roommates? I can't wrap my fucking mind around this. I don't know what to make of it. It's bizarre. Guys, hold on 1 second. Shanna's running to the store real quick. I told her not to, but I want to make sure. Just give me a second. I always keep an eye on Shanna. Hold on. Okay, guys. Here I am. FBS, did you see the TikTok Maddie posted about the surviving girl that's seen him and didn't call the police? There was a jealousy issue from her towards Maddie. Is that right? How do I see that, Michael McDonald? I would love to see that. Is there any way you could get that to me? That's fucked up. Yeah. The Chicky's Tiny Bully. Yeah, that's yeah. That would be and that's called dead. You know what I mean? That's not unconscious. I mean, maybe she knew it was going to happen. I don't know. Gilded Age, this is beyond horrifying. It is. How did she see his eyebrows? Well, because let me tell you, and this is another thing we're going to get to, and I'll bring some friends on later, and we're going to discuss this. I spent about 2 hours on the phone with Howie earlier, and this is the conclusion we came to. Bryan Kohberger is a fucking moron, okay? Because listen, you know me. You guys have heard me say education does not equal intelligence. You guys have heard me say that I have this belief that the human mind is designed to hold only so much information. I really believe this, and I'll tell you why. Because most college-educated people I know are fucking morons. They're stupid people. Don't get me wrong, they're geniuses in certain aspects, in certain fields. But when it comes to common sense, they can barely tie their fucking shoes. I had a girlfriend like this. She had a master's degree in behavioral science. She could barely spell her own fucking name. I think that the more higher education you push in, the more common sense and lower education you push out. I really believe that. And Bryan Kohberger might be an example because this fucking guy was not that bright. You drove your own car, stupid ass. You were caught on 10 fucking cameras the entire way back and forth to and from the crime scene. You wore a mask, and this is how she saw his eyebrows. He didn't wear what a lot of us guys would wear, a ski mask where all you could see is the eyes and the mouth. No, he wore a mask that covered his nose and his fucking mouth. I think this dummy went to commit a quadruple murder wearing a fucking COVID mask. That's what it sounds like. You could see the whole rest of his face. He made so many mistakes. How do you leave the sheath to the fucking knife behind? That's like shooting somebody and leaving your holster at the scene. What the fuck? This is not normal. This is not something anybody with brains would do. Why was your sheath not attached to your fucking belt? This guy was not smart. He might have been highly educated, sure. Doesn't make him smart. I mean, look at Lee Cole. The guy's got 40 or 50 different degrees from 16 different online technical universities, okay? And he's a fucking blithering moron. I think it's a survival trait. She played dead. I don't know, bro. No empathy. Maybe it's that. It doesn't add up. All I can think is there's more to it that they aren't saying yet. I'm thinking the same thing. Could have been on drugs. Well, I thought about that. Most likely drunk. Most likely, let's be honest, they were probably all drunk. They all came from a party or a bar or something that night. But she remembered seeing him. She remembered words. She remembered hearing a dog bark. You weren't that drunk. You don't have to be a full-blown alcoholic to black out to some extent. When you're fucked up, you're going to forget some things. She seems to have remembered everything, including the guy's eyebrows. She had to be with it enough. You know what I mean? Lucid enough to retain these memories, right? Therefore, she was probably lucid enough to know that something bad is happening. Yeah, no shit, William. You ain't kidding. She got too scared and froze up. I guess. I don't know. Oh, she called the police ASAP. Rocky got caught. What the fuck? You don't freeze up for 4 hours. No. No, you absolutely do not. Oh, thank you for sending me that. This reminds me of Amanda Knox. Ah, good comparison. Yes, yes. If she calls the police ASAP, then bam, he don't get away. Well, yeah, that's another thing. Yeah. What was it, for 40-something fucking days? I mean, they had him as a suspect pretty early on, but still. The parents, the time they had to spend wondering how this happened and all that, it could have been solved, in the snap of a fucking finger. It's crazy. They could have set up for a crime like that, roadblocks, whatever. They could have got this guy. If nothing else, who knows? Maybe they would have had him the next day, but it's strange. Yeah, Stone Sailor, you always should. Carmine S. 999. Xander Kernodle and Madison Mogan worked at a vegan restaurant called Mad Greek where Bryan Kohberger frequented. He definitely knew his victims. Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, and he followed, Kaylee and Maddie on Instagram and all that. They might have been in cahoots. Who knows? Frankie DeChico could have something to do with him asking if anyone else has been arrested. Oh. Good point, Frankie DeChico. I have had roommates before. I always check on them. Of course. It's one thing to run for cover, but to do nothing for an extended period of time is insane. Insane. Yeah. And how do you go to sleep? Like, if she went to sleep, how do you do that? Unless she was drunk and she passed out. How do you go to sleep after seeing something like that? Let me tell you something. The other night, me and Shanna were in bed. Okay, this was New Year's Eve. Shanna started falling asleep, but I was still awake, fucking around on my phone. And on the bedroom door, and I'm not bullshitting you, I heard. Okay? My mother was sound asleep in her bedroom. My stepson was not here. Okay? And we heard knocking on the door. I said, what the fuck was that? Okay? Then I started hearing fireworks about 5 minutes later. So I said, okay, you know what? Maybe, you were half asleep. I had an earbud in. Maybe it was fireworks. Maybe the vibration or so, who knows? But then the fireworks ended. About an hour later, an hour after the fireworks ended, I hear on the bedroom door. I grabbed a machete, okay, and I searched the entire fucking house. But I didn't go right to sleep afterwards, I'll tell you that much. You know why? I had no fucking idea where that noise was coming from. You get my point? All right, moving on. You can have a master's degree and still be an idiot. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Wise Guy TV, the report said he had visited the King Road address at least 12 other times in early morning hours and spent time watching. Oh, I believe it. I'm not done with the report, guys. I'm just pausing. Just give me a second, because this part needs to be talked about. Because every time somebody talked about it today, they're like, oh, well, it might seem strange, but we don't want to victim blame. And, we have to understand that we don't know what we would do in that position. I do. I swear to you, I know. Okay, now, it wouldn't have involved calling the police, but that might have been a second or third or fourth or fifth option. Okay, I do know that if I put myself in the shoes of a young girl, I'll freeze up at first. I'll definitely lock myself in the room. And eventually, I'm going to call the police or check on my roommates. I know that. I can be sure of it. Have I ever been in that position? No. Do I need to be? No. No, not at all. Okay? Michael McDonald, it's very bizarre for sure. I seen two buddies get shot and I almost lost it panicking. How that girl didn't call for 6 hours and saying they're unconscious, I don't buy it. Yeah, something's very wrong there. Yes, very well said, Scott Lawson. That's what it is. He never shut his phone off when he did the site surveys. Oh, I didn't know about that. Orale, Juanito Gotti. If I were his parents, I'd sue the colleges he went to. Sounds like someone who wants to get caught. Tony Ducks, I've thought about that too. And I did have a theory a few days ago. I said, I think there's a possibility this guy deliberately fucked up a little bit, just to, because it just seems like the arrogance of this guy. I feel like he thinks he can get away with this, even getting caught. I feel like he thinks he can beat the case. And I think a lot of the excitement for him is trying to do just that. This guy studied a lot of serial killers. There's a chance he might have even had communications with BTK because of his professor, who was very much in communication with BTK. There's a lot of numerological coincidences. 3 a.m. Amityville Horror, 3 a.m. this thing. 112 is the address of the Amityville Horror House. 1122 is the address of this house. Things like that. And I usually don't give much credence to that, but this fucking weirdo probably studied shit like that and might have even tried to do some sort of copycat thing with at least aspects of the crime. Chemical engineer. Remember OJ and the glove? Yes, sir. I certainly do. The sheath and yeah, good point. Cunning and but OJ was a fucking moron too. I mean, cunning and intelligence are related, but still mutually exclusive. Agreed. Let me see. Let me get down here. I heard an altercation inside my home at 4 a.m. The dog, who rarely barks, was also barking. I then witnessed a 6-foot-tall masked stranger dressed in black in my home, so I decided to sleep till noon. Yeah, bro, this is fucked up, man. And I listen. I have a daughter that's a little older than Dylan Mortensen. It's hard for me. I don't want to bash the girl or talk bad about her, but this is inexcusable. Okay, there's something wrong here. There's something seriously wrong. And what could have been prevented? Maybe nothing, but maybe a whole lot. At the very least, the victims would have been found sooner. The investigation might have been, the whole thing might have been solved in 24 hours. They might have caught the guy on the way back to WSU. Who knows? Who knows? But this seems like a selfish girl thing where, well, he's not bothering me. I don't know. It's very strange to me. I don't know. Like, I can't get into that. I got to keep some of my beliefs to myself. Why didn't he kill her? Well, the theory on that is he was probably exhausted. After killing 4 people with a knife, there's no doubt, whoever you are, you're going to be pretty drained. Although, there's also the theory that maybe he planned on killing 4 people, Xana, Ethan, Maddie, and Kaylee. He killed them and he was done. But at the same time, this goes to him being a stupid criminal because number one rule in crime is witnesses gotta go, right? You just killed 4 fucking people. You're only partially covered by a mask. This girl just saw you eye to eye and can describe at least part of your face. Why would you let her live? I mean, thank God he did. You know what I'm saying? But it goes to show that this guy was either ill-prepared or wanted to get caught. Nightmare 1503. I got paid today and it was a bullshit paycheck. All these days off for the holidays took away a lot of hours I could have worked. Well, that's totally unrelated, but I feel you, bro. Shanna is, missing a week of work, and my income has been cut to about 1/3 in the last few weeks. So I hear you, bro. It's extremely stressful. The psychic said, girl had a black box that she went to throw in the garbage, could have had drugs in it. Oh, psychic, get out of here, Gio. Bradley Fountain. He has been to the house before. He might have. Oh, come on. Michael McDonald. I have a feeling DM knew Bryan and maybe was in it for paybacks over her issue with Maddie after seeing the TikTok I posted. Let me look at that TikTok real quick. Oh, yeah. Yorkville Charlie. It's got to be. Listen, bizarre shit like that happens in this house all the fucking time. All the time. You know what I'm saying? But it never gets less creepy. Let me just check this out so I can comment on it. I'll get on with the affidavit. This might be a long show, guys. So if you can, please donate. The fuck is this? I'm looking at ESPN ringside. Oh.
Don't wear that outfit again. You fucking asshole. You fucking liar. You fucking manipulator. Don't wear that outfit again. You fucking asshole.
Michael McDonald, I don't know. Is that Dylan with her arm around Maddie? I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. I don't think she was involved. She's probably a dumb millennial. I don't know. Philly Chronicle, if he had blood all over him, the white car should have had blood inside of it, you would think. Yeah, it probably did, but he also could have laid plastic down or something like that. But it might have. We'll find out. You know what I mean? Stop that. Oh, my God. What is happening to me right now? Stop. All right. I'm fucking around with comments too much. Let me read one more, and then I'm off to the, Michael Hacker. What does that have to do with anything? Anyway, NYC Crime Spot. He probably got off on the shock and surprise factor. She saw him, and it ruined it. That's some Night Stalker shit. It's possible. Very possible. This one is Xana, and the survivor is the girl yelling and dressed in that weird costume.
You fucking asshole. You fucking liar. You fucking manipulator. Don't wear that outfit again. You fucking asshole.
Yeah, I'll have to look at it later and check out some comments. I'm not quite sure I understand what's going on in that TikTok. No, I don't know, Yorkville Charlie. I didn't even read it all yet. Let me get to the rest of it. Thank you, Brian Miller. She's yelling about Maddie. Oh, okay. All right, let me get back to this. The combination of DM statements to law enforcement, reviews of forensic downloads of records from BF and DM's phone, and video of a suspect video as described below leads investigators to believe the homicides occurred between 4 a.m. and 4:25 a.m. During the processing of the crime scene, investigators found a latent shoe print. This was located during the second processing of the crime scene by the ISP forensic team by first using a presumptive blood test and then amino black, a protein stain that detects the presence of cellular material. The detected shoe print showed a diamond-shaped pattern similar to the pattern of a Vans-type shoe sole just outside the door of DM's bedroom located on second floor. This is consistent with DM's statement regarding the suspect's path of travel. All right, there you go. So that's accurate. As part of the investigation, an extensive search, commonly referred to in law enforcement as a video canvass, was conducted in the area of the King Road residence. This video canvass was to obtain any footage from the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022 in the area of the King Road residence and surrounding neighborhoods in an effort to locate the suspects or suspect vehicle traveling to or leaving from the King Road residence. This video canvas resulted in the collection of numerous surveillance videos in the area from both residential and business addresses. I have reviewed numerous videos that were collected and have had conversation with the other MPD officers, ISP detectives, and FBI agents that are similarly reviewing footage that was obtained. A review of camera footage indicated that a white sedan, hereafter suspect vehicle 1, was observed traveling westbound in the 700 block of Indian Hills Drive in Moscow at approximately 3:26 a.m. and westbound on Steiner Avenue at Idaho State Highway 95 in Moscow at approximately 3:28 a.m. On this video, it appeared suspect vehicle 1 was not displaying a front license plate. A review of footage from multiple videos obtained from the King Road neighborhood showed multiple sightings of suspect vehicle 1 starting at 3:29 a.m. and ending at 4:20 a.m. These sightings show suspect vehicle 1 makes an initial 3 passes by the 1122 King Road residence and then leaves via Walenta Drive. Based off of my experience as a patrol officer, this is a residential neighborhood with a very limited number of vehicles that travel in the area during the early morning hours. Upon review of the video, there are only a few cars that enter and exit this area during this time frame. Suspect vehicle 1 can be seen entering the area a fourth time at approximately 4:04 a.m. It can be seen driving eastbound on King Road, stopping and turning around in front of 500 Queen Road, number 52, and then driving back westbound on King Road. When suspect vehicle 1 is in front of the King Road residence, it appeared to unsuccessfully attempt to park or turn around in the road. The vehicle then continued to the intersection of Queen Road and King Road, where it can be seen completing a 3-point turn and then driving eastbound again down Queen Road. Suspect vehicle 1 is next seen departing the area of the King Road residence at approximately 4:20 a.m. at a high rate of speed. So this is without a doubt after the murder. Suspect vehicle 1 is next observed traveling southbound on Walenta Drive. Based on my knowledge of the area and review of camera footage in the neighborhood, that does not show suspect vehicle 1 during that time frame. I believe that suspect vehicle 1 likely exited the neighborhood at Palouse River Drive and Conestoga Drive. Palouse, I don't know if I'm saying that right. River Drive is at the southern edge of Moscow and proceeds into Whitman County, Washington. Eventually the road leads to Pullman, Washington. Pullman, Washington is approximately 10 miles from Moscow, Idaho. Both Pullman and Moscow are small college towns, and people commonly travel back and forth between them. Let me see how much we got left here, guys. Holy fucking shit. There's a lot. It gets much more interesting, though. Let me get back to where I was. Law enforcement officers provided video footage of suspect vehicle 1 to forensic examiners with the Federal Bureau of Investigation that regularly utilize surveillance footage to identify the year, make, and model of an unknown vehicle that is observed by one or more cameras during the commission of a criminal offense. The forensic examiner has approximately 35 years law enforcement experience with 12 years at the FBI. His specific training includes identifying unique characteristics of vehicles, and he uses a database that gives visual clues of vehicles across states to identify differences between vehicles. After reviewing the numerous observations of suspect vehicle 1, the forensic examiner initially believed that the suspect vehicle 1 was 2011 to 2013 Hyundai Elantra. Upon further review, he indicated it could also be a 2011 to 2016 Hyundai Elantra. As a result, investigators have been reviewing information on persons in possession of a vehicle that is a 2011 to 2016 white Hyundai Elantra. Now, let me take a break for a second. Now, here's another thing. Why would you drive? Hold on. I got to pull this up just because of the name. Fat Bald Napolitan. I believe DM was the unresponsive person the 9/11 caller was talking about. She passed out after seeing two of the deceased in the adjacent room. It could be possible. It's not a bad theory, Fat Bald Napolitan. But why? Okay. Now, I know this guy was a square. He was an incel. He was a dork. He was not a street guy. He didn't have, he didn't understand, he didn't have this certain skill set that maybe a street guy would have. But why, if you can't at least steal a car to commit this crime, why not at least rent a car? Which, don't get me wrong, rental cars are bad too. They can be traced back to you. But I'm at the very least going to rent a car, okay? And I'm going to cover up the license plates. Once I am off any type of main road or anything, I'm going to cover up both license plates. Right? I am going to wear a full mask that shows that gives me the ability only to see and breathe. Okay, I believe he was dressed in all black. At least he got that part right. But the vehicle thing, I will never understand. I think his arrogance and cockiness brought him to the point of believing that he would never get caught for this, even with all these mistakes he made. I think that was him, at least on some of those social media sites, commenting on these murders. And I think he just had that type of arrogance about him. I don't know if he's been smacked in the face with a cold dose of reality yet, or if he's delusional enough to believe that he still has a chance of beating this case. But let's be honest, guys. Listen, I know for legal reasons, I'm supposed to say allegedly, this guy allegedly did this. He was accused of that. He's innocent until proven guilty. Guys, you know me. I'm all about the Innocence Project. You heard me talk about the Chanel Lewis case. I don't believe that guy's guilty. I am the last person who will ever just take the cop's word for something. But let's be honest. I mean, is there any possibility this guy didn't do it? No. Not in my mind. No, fuck no. Come on, bro. First of all, DNA, you're fucked. You're fucked. That's it. That's the problem. This is why I and many other people I know do not commit crimes any longer. Okay? I was in the clear because my first felony conviction was in 2000 actually. Okay? And they didn't take DNA then. In 2016, I went to jail, and when I got out in 2017, before I could get out, they called me up front where there was a state police person waiting who had a little toolbox, so to speak, and took my DNA and made it very clear to me that if I don't give him my DNA, I will not be getting released until I do. It was at that moment that I realized I can't be a criminal anymore, okay? At least not much of one. You got to be out of your fucking mind at this point, okay? You just do. I don't know what he was thinking with that car, though. Yeah, he had the balls to kill but not steal a car. Yeah, I mean, what the fuck? He's a nut and believes he can get away with this. I agree. It was racially motivated. Shut up. Sounds like he was being manipulated by a woman. They can make men do stupid shit. I don't think so. I think this guy was pussyless. Okay, he was an incel. He was angry at the beautiful people. You know what I mean? He probably wanted one or all of them very, very badly. Knew he had no shot. Maybe even got shot down by one or two of them before. You know what I mean? And didn't like Ethan because, listen, incels, remember what they call the people they hate. They call the girls Stacy's. That means, you know, the beautiful girls that won't give them the time of day. They are Stacy's. The guys are Chads. The guys that can get those girls are Chads. They hate the Chads as much as they hate the Stacy's, if not more. So I wouldn't doubt if Ethan, you know, listen, you could say maybe Ethan was in the wrong place at the wrong time because he did not live there. But I believe wholeheartedly that he knew exactly who was in that house when he went there. And he planned on killing at least the 4 that were killed. Red-headed stepchild, thank you for becoming a new member, my friend. Yeah, guys, listen, 220 people. I'm working hard for you. I entertained the shit out of you in the beginning. And hey, a Puerto Rican guy who joined on Lefty's show that time, when I say I'm working hard, I'm not equating it to like doing construction. I'm working hard in my own little way, jerk off. Okay? Try it sometime. Try doing what I do. See how well you do at it. But anyway, guys, I'm doing my thing for you. I'm entertaining you. If you could donate, please do. I deserve it. If you can't donate, at least buy a membership. And if you can't do that, hit the like button. Okay? Hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. For the love of Gunsmoke. The Pullman search warrant was sealed because the information could jeopardize and prematurely end the investigation and could be a danger to law enforcement. I didn't even know that. The move the cops pulled in coordinating, pulling him over to get him on video to see his hands was pretty badass. Frankie DeChico, let me tell you something. There's not been many times in my life where I've given the cops props, okay? But they killed it on this one, okay? Local, state, federal, everybody involved in this case. This shit was so well executed. The investigation, the misdirection they kind of put out in the media, you know what I mean? The fucking the traffic stops in Indiana to get pictures of his hands, which, by the way, guys, let me show you something. We're going to get to that in the affidavit anyway. But let me just show you guys in case you didn't see. Look at his dumb fucking face. Of course he was an incel. But look at his hand. You could see his second knuckle in there, and his right hand is pretty fucked up. Okay, he did some damage to his hands. Also, I don't know if you guys saw it on Crime Circus. I tried to find the video to put up for you guys, but the actual raw video, but I couldn't. So my suggestion is go look for it on today's episode of Crime Circus. He might have had more than one. Watch them all, whatever. This motherfucker was at the vigil. Oh, yes, he was. The memorial, whatever you call it. He was there. Crime Circus, Drip Drop, my man, has a video of him. It's clearly him. From the side, you could see it's him. There's not 2 people that look as stupid as Bryan Kohberger. There can't be. Okay, it's him. And he's walking with his fucking hands in his pockets. And you know why? Because I guarantee that little bit of damage that we see right here, that's nothing compared to what he had right after the murders. Okay. This is on December 15th. The murders took place on November 13th. Okay. So over a month later, his hand is still a little banged up. So imagine what it looked like in the weeks following the murders. No less the days. Heard they took the father's DNA out of the garbage at the Pennsylvania house days before the son's arrest. Yeah. They listen, they had to. And you know, I was thinking, it's funny, going back to one of my own stories, it's funny I didn't kind of pick up a little bit on, you know, none of us said when he was stopped in, when we found out he had been stopped in Indiana twice. Wow, maybe they did that just to ID him, or maybe it was a setup. Because on my first controlled buy, the day I got set up in 99, they did something similar. See, I sold the guy the shit, and then I drove off. And immediately after I drove off, an undercover started following me. Okay, I knew something happened at that controlled buy, or at that, I'm sorry, at that sale, whatever, the deal I just made. So I took the money that I had, it was $300, and I shoved it in between, the seat cushions, because I figured they're going to be looking for marked money. I just got set up. I knew in my heart I just got set up. But they pulled me over, and the cop said, "Hey, you got a taillight that's blinking. Okay, I'm going to give you a warning. Give me your ID and, insurance, whatever." All right. So I gave him my license, my proof of insurance, all that shit. He came back. He said, "Here's a little warning. You have 5 days to get it checked out." And he let me go. So I thought, wow, maybe I didn't get set up. But then I thought, wait a minute. This is a 99 Kia Sportage. Remember those little SUVs? It was brand new. I had one. Okay. There's no way the taillight's blinking. I brought it to my brother's. He's a mechanic. We checked it out every which way. There's no taillight blinking. So I knew something was wrong. So that particular customer, although he kept calling me in the days following, I would never go meet him again because I knew something was up. Well, 10 months later, when I got arrested on the felony drug warrant from the York County Drug Task Force, what did I find out? The only reason they pulled me over that day was to get my ID. Okay, because I could have later said, "Now, wait a minute. You saw my vehicle in that parking lot. You saw a guy get in and buy a bunch of weed, whatever. But you don't know that was me driving." Well, we got pictures. Still, could have been somebody that looked like me. So what they did that day is they pulled me over just to get my license and, confirm that I was, in fact, Chris Lodrago. So it was the same type of deal. Didn't even occur to me. Even though we all thought it was strange, he got pulled over twice, right? Especially in the same state. But I got to admit, it never even occurred to me. Now looking back on it, it's like, yeah, it makes perfect sense. Oh, okay, William Brooklyn. Casey Robinson, $5 for the love of Gunsmoke. Thank you, Casey. I had the FBI sniffing piss, thinking it was a bottle of explosive liquid. I kept clean piss. Oh, shit. Yeah, Mark and CNS, absolutely, they do. No, Fat Bald Navalatan, no. No, and I'll tell you the truth. I think that DM, Dylan Mortensen, heard a lot more than she told police. I think she did. Maybe she's perfectly innocent, but she was just terrified and in shock. I don't know. But I wouldn't doubt if she had seen that very morning, long before the cops were called, seen at least one of the victims dead, possibly Xana, on the floor. You know what I mean? I think she heard a lot more than she reported to the police. Abso-fucking-lutely. I personally, I'd hate to say it, but maybe the other girl did too. That had to be, you got to understand, that dog had to be going ape shit. Those girls had to be screaming for their lives. I mean, let's be honest. We know now that Maddie was up on her TikTok. Or was it Xana? One of them. I think it was Maddie. Was up on her. No. I think it was Xana. I'm sorry. I get confused. One of them was up on their TikTok. I think it was the same one that got the DoorDash, right? Either that or Xana was on the TikTok. Maddie got the DoorDash, whatever. Either way, point is, we thought the victims were sleeping. Now we have reasons to believe at least two of them were wide awake. Or at the very least, one. The screaming, the cries for help. I mean, it gives you chills. It really is something straight out of a horror fucking movie. The amount of noise had to be earth-shattering. I can't wrap my mind now that we know that at least one or two of them was awake, possibly all of them. Well, here's the thing. I believe we know that Zanny and Maddie were awake. Okay. But Dylan said she heard Kaylee say someone's in the house, right? Unless I'm getting my facts all jumbled, that would be 3 of them. 3 females that were awake. It's honestly terrifying. You would much rather think that they were asleep and they didn't even know what was happening. But I think it could be as bad as, they were all awake and they watched each other be slaughtered. I mean, honestly, it's fucking heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. Yeah, absolutely. Fatball Nullathon. Thank you to sit down. Mikey Rich said, please donate if you can. Much appreciated, everyone. Yes, please do. Please do. Please do. FPS is suffering here. No more no more food for FBS. Can't afford it anymore. From now on, I eat catch-up packets like Paulie Walnuts and Chris Moltisanti and the Pine Barrens. It's all I can afford, guys. There's no more food. There's no more sneakers. There's no more nothing. Tomorrow I got to sell my car. All my DJ equipment. I got to sell. I might sell one of the stepkids. You know what I mean? Because I have no more money. I hope that makes you feel bad and donate. All right. I don't know if I read this part yet, but it's short, so I'll go over it again. After reviewing the numerous observations of suspect vehicle 1, the forensic... Oh, yes, I did read that. Okay. Investigators were given access to video footage of on the Washington State University campus located in Pullman, Washington. A review of that video indicated that at approximately 2:44 a.m. on November 13th, 2022, a white sedan, which was consistent with the description of the white Elantra known as suspect vehicle 1, was observed on WSU surveillance cameras traveling north on Southeast Nevada Street at Northeast Stadium Way. At approximately 2:53 a.m., a white sedan, which is consistent with the description of the white Elantra known as suspect vehicle 1, was observed traveling southeast on Nevada Street in Pullman, Washington towards SR 270. SR 270 connects Pullman, Washington to Moscow, Idaho. This camera footage from Pullman, Washington was provided to the FBI, to the same FBI forensic examiner. The forensic examiner identified the vehicle observed in Pullman, Washington as being a 2014 to 2016 Hyundai Elantra. At approximately 5:25 a.m., a white sedan, which was consistent with the description of suspect vehicle 1, was observed on 5 cameras in Pullman, Washington, and on WSU campus cameras. The first camera that recorded the white sedan, I'm suffering here, guys, was located at 1300 Johnson Road in Pullman. The white sedan was observed traveling northbound on Johnson Road. Johnson Road leads directly back to West Palouse, whatever that is, River Drive in Moscow, which intersects with Conestoga Drive. The white sedan was then observed turning north on Bishop Boulevard and northwest on SR 270 at approximately 5:27 a.m. The white Elantra was observed on cameras traveling northbound on Stadium Way at Nevada Street, Stadium Way at Grimes Way, Stadium Drive at Wilson Road, and Stadium Way at Cougar Way. Now, there is some pictures here. This is fascinating stuff. Unfortunately, I can't put them up. But there is pictures here of the actual path of the Elantra. It's all just a bunch of red arrows and shit. But it shows how they tracked this vehicle. A direct route from WSU to the victim's house and back. I mean, it's crazy. Let me just see what I just got. Give me 1 second, guys. Stephen Cordell, $10 for good show. Thank you, my friend. Also, I want to thank for earlier today, chemical engineer sent Okay, I won't read that, but sent me $20. And Tommy Figs sent me 25, said, Happy New Year, brother. Keep killing it this year. Hope you and your wife get better soon. Thank you, Tommy Figs. Thank you very much. All right. Shanna is home. That's good news. All right. On November 25th, 2022, MPD asked area law enforcement agencies to be on the lookout for white Hyundai Elantras in the area. On November 29th, 2022, at approximately 12:28 a.m., Washington State University police officer Daniel Tiengo queried white Elantras registered at WSU. As a result of that query, he located a 2015 white Elantra with a Pennsylvania license plate LFZ 8649. This vehicle was registered to Bryan Kohberger, hereafter Kohberger, residing at 1630 Northeast Valley Road, apartment 201, Pullman, Washington. 1630 Northeast Valley Road is approximately 3/4 of a mile from the intersections of Stadium Way and Cougar Way. Last camera location that picked up white Elantra. The same day at approximately 12:58 a.m., WSU officer Curtis Whitman was looking for white Hyundai Elantras and located a 2015 white Hyundai Elantra at 1630 Northeast Valley Road in Pullman in the parking lot. 1630 Northeast Valley Road is an apartment complex that houses WSU students. So here you go. This is how they found his particular white Hyundai Elantra. Officer Whitman also ran the car and it returned to Kohberger with a Washington tag. I reviewed Kohberger's Washington State driver's license information and photograph. The license indicates that Kohberger is a white male with a height of 6 feet and weighs 185 pounds. Additionally, the photograph of Kohberger shows that he has bushy eyebrows. Kohberger's physical description is consistent with the description of the male DM, Dylan Mortensen, saw inside the King Road residence on November 13th. Ain't that a bitch, Bryan? Wow. Further investigation, including a review of Latah County Sheriff's Department Corporal Duke's body cam and reports, showed that on August 21st, 2022, Bryan Kohberger was detained as part of a traffic stop that occurred in Moscow, Idaho by Corporal Duke. At the time, Kohberger, who was the sole occupant, was driving a white 2015 Hyundai Elantra with Pennsylvania plate LFZ 8649, which was set to expire on November 30th, 2022. During the stop, which was recorded via a law enforcement body camera, Kohberger provided his phone number as redacted, hereafter the 8458 phone, as his cellular telephone number. Investigators conducted electronic database queries and learned that the 8458 phone number is a number issued by AT&T. On October 14th, 2022, Bryan Kohberger was detained as part of a traffic stop. This is the second one by a WSU police officer. Oh, no. I'm sorry. It's not. This is earlier, before the murders. Upon review of that body cam and report of the stop, Kohberger was the sole occupant and was driving a white 2015 Hyundai Elantra with Pennsylvania plate LFZ 8649. On November 18th, 2022, according to Washington State licensing, Kohberger registered the 2015 white Elantra with Washington and later received Washington plate CFB 8708. Prior to this time, the 2015 Hyundai Elantra was registered in Pennsylvania, which does not require a front license plate to be displayed. This was learned through communications with a Pennsylvania officer who is currently certified in the state of Pennsylvania. There you go. So what that's telling you is that, 5 days after the murders, after quite some time having the license plate and the Pennsylvania plates and the car registered in Pennsylvania, 5 days after the murders, he switched it to Washington. He registered the car there and he got Washington plates. I'm sure the timing is no coincidence. Based on my own experience and communication with Washington law enforcement, I know that Idaho and Washington require front and back license plates to be displayed. Investigators believe that Kohberger is still driving the 2015 white Elantra because his vehicle was captured on December 13th, 2022 by a license plate reader in Loma, Colorado. So there you go, guys. Okay. This confirms a lot of my fears that those license plate readers are a problem. Okay. If they just, I guess they could probably program it to pick up a specific plate number and alert law enforcement that that plate number has been picked up on camera at a specific toll or whatever it may be. That is fucking terrifying. Okay, that's scary. That means, guess what? You're fucked. And this is why I can't necessarily go to Long Island and kill a couple of bitches I'd like to kill. I can't. It's impossible. Because if I did, they'd catch me on camera left and right, my plate number and all that. They'd put it together in a second. I go to jail for double murder and it's all over. You know what I mean? A pig and a horse are gone, but so am I. So what favor did I really do myself? You know what I'm saying? I think about these things all the time, especially at night. Anyway, let me read a couple comments real quick. FBI, £2. Thinking of you, DJ Kaz. Yes, we are thinking of you, my friend. Mucinex, yeah, I need it, Fatball Nuttalathon. I take it at night. Frankie DeChico, $4.99. This is a great show and great entertainment. Thank you. Thank you, Frankie. I'm glad you're enjoying it because as I'm reading this, I feel like people are getting bored, but I'm glad you're enjoying it. That means a lot to me. You're the first YouTuber I've heard read that affidavit without fucking the word query. Congratulations. Thank you, bro. I should get some sort of award for that. We got a rogue? What do you mean? We're talking about the Idaho murderer, G-Rocker. What do you mean we got a rogue? What's going on in here? Well, somebody will text me if we have a rogue wrench. I can't, I want to move on. I don't want to be fucking with the chat. Oh, there's a fake DJ Kaz? Well, he doesn't have a wrench, right? You sure it's a fake DJ Kaz? Then block him. Fuck him. Oh, he does have a wrench. Hold on, guys. Give me a second. I'll get right back to the affidavit. Wait a minute. Hold on. I don't see any other DJ Kaz, guys. I don't see any other one. So I don't know what's happening. But I removed the one and only DJ Kaz. I'll give it back to him next time. He's saying, did he block somebody? I don't know, bro. It is DJ Kaz lowercase. One donor, Frankie DeChico, was blocked by DJ Kaz. Motherfucker. This has to happen now. Guys, just hang out with me. Don't fucking leave. Let me fix this real quick. Motherfuckers. Let me get to... Did you guys unblock Frankie DeChico? Somebody text me because I'm looking at a different screen. If Frankie DeChico was unblocked, please text me so I could stop searching for him. Yeah, I don't see him. I can't do this all night. Just give me 1 minute here. He's unblocked. It's all good. All right. Is he the only one, guys? All right. I'm going to assume he's the only one, and I'm going to move on because I don't want to waste my fucking time doing this. Okay. All right. There he is. All right. All right. So let me get back to the affidavit, guys. Listen, if there's any other Rogue Wrench activity in the chat, text me, somebody, Steve Cutler, Stone Sailor, whoever has my number. All right. Let me get back to this because we're almost done with it. We don't have that much left. All right. Investigators believe that Kohberger is still driving the 2015 white Elantra. Yeah, that's where I was, I think, because his vehicle was captured on December 13th, 2022 by a license plate reader in Loma, Colorado. Information provided by a query to a database. Kohberger's Elantra was then queried on December 15th, 2022 by law enforcement in Hancock County, Indiana. On December 16th, 2022 at approximately 2:26 p.m., surveillance video showed Kohberger's Elantra in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. The sole occupant of the vehicle was a white male whose description was consistent with Kohberger. Kohberger has family in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, learned through a TLO search and locate tool database query. Based on information provided on the WSU website, Kohberger is currently a PhD student in criminology at Washington State University. Pursuant to records provided by a member of the interview panel for Pullman Police Department, we learned that Kohberger's past education included undergraduate degrees in psychology and cloud-based forensics. These records also showed Kohberger wrote an essay when he applied for an internship with the Pullman Police Department in the fall of 2022. You fucking believe that? He applied for an internship with the police department in the fall of last year, so quite recently. Kohberger wrote in his essay he had interest in assisting rural law enforcement agencies with how to better collect and analyze technological data in public safety operations. Kohberger was also posted a Reddit survey, which can be found by an open source internet search. The survey asked for participants to provide information to understand how emotions and psychological traits influence decision making when committing a crime. He was doing research for his own eventual, murders. As a part of this investigation, law enforcement obtained search warrants to determine cellular devices that utilized cellular towers in close proximity to the King Road residence on November 13th, 2022, between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. After determining that Kohberger was associated to both the 2015 white Elantra and the 8458 phone, investigators reviewed these search warrant returns. A query of the 8458 phone in these returns did not show the 8458 phone utilizing cellular tower resources in close proximity to the King Road residence between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. Okay, so this means, give me 1 second. If I understand correctly, this means that he turned off his phone during the time of the killings. Again, a bad idea. And I'll tell you why. Because when and if you become a suspect, which he is, then get rid of Damien. Who gives a fuck? I don't have good luck with guys named Damien. What was I saying? It's a bad idea because if and when you become a suspect of this crime, they're going to check your phone, your location services and all that, your GPS, whatever. And they're going to see, oh, what a coincidence. Your phone's always on. But during the hours surrounding the time where this crime took place, so obviously it didn't take place between, during the hours between 3 and 5. It took place at some point between 3 and 5. But between 3 and 5 a.m., his phone was shut off. So it's as good as having your phone pinging right at the location in a way. You know what I'm saying? I would have taken my fucking phone 30 miles away and threw it in a fucking field somewhere or something and came back and got it. But this dickhead, rather than leaving his phone at home, how about that? Leave it at your fucking apartment so then later you could say I was sleeping. That's your alibi. I was sleeping. No, you turn it off, which is going to make you suspicious. Because they're going to say, wait a minute. This guy had his phone off during those hours. His car matches, his description matches. It's just another piece of evidence, really. In his attempts to escape leaving any cellular data as phone evidence, he actually created some phone evidence by turning his phone off during those hours. You see what I'm saying? Stupid. Thank you, Chris Capello. Oh, was he? All right, then relax with Damien. Sorry, Damien. Maybe we got off on the wrong foot. You think he was inside the house from that 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. window? No, because he's caught on camera, throughout, the hours between 3 and 5. You know what I mean? I don't believe so. His car is caught on camera. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think so. But, who knows? Let me see. Let me go over that, actually. You put on a 3-hour FBS live, leave at your bedroom, then go kill someone. Oh, Butter Rob, you're great. William Brooklyn, fuck no. No, hell no. No, being white doesn't get you that far. Fuck that. Let's see. Based on my training, not mine. No, I'm just kidding. Based on my training, experience, and conversations with law enforcement officers that specialize in the utilization of cellular telephone records as part of investigations, individuals can either leave their cellular telephone at a different location before committing a crime or turn their cellular telephone off prior to going to a location to commit a crime. Okay, and see, his was what I was trying to say earlier, and I probably fucked it all up. He was out and about and preparing to do this crime between the hours of 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. It's not like the crime was being committed during those 2 hours, throughout the entire 2 hours. It was a short period of time, 4 a.m. something to whatever, you know what I mean? But he had it turned off the whole time. And the reason was he didn't just want it off when he was at the crime scene. He wanted it off while he was driving around preparing to go to the house and commit those murders. So he had it turned off basically from before he left his apartment to after he got back, Let me read that again just so we don't get all fucked up here. Based on my training, experience, and conversations with law enforcement officers that specialize in the utilization of cellular telephone records as part of investigations, individuals can either leave their cellular to going to a location taken by subjects in an effort to avoid alerting law enforcement that a cellular device associated with them was in a particular area where a crime is committed. I also know that on numerous occasions, subjects will surveil an area where they intend to commit a crime prior to the date of the crime. Depending on the circumstances, this could be done a few days before or for several months prior to the commission of a crime. During these types of surveillance, it is possible that an individual would not leave their cellular telephone at a separate location or turn it off since they do not plan to commit the offense on that particular day. Let's move on. Let's see. On December 23rd, 2022, I applied for and was granted a search warrant for historical phone records between November 12th, 2022 at 12 a.m. and November 14th at 12 a.m. for the 8458 phone held by the phone provider AT&T, approximately 24 hours preceding and following the times of the homicides. On December 23rd, 2022, pursuant to that search warrant, I received records for the 8458 phone from AT&T. These records indicated that the 8458 These records indicated that the 8458 phone is subscribed to Bryan Kohberger at an address in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry to do this, but just give me a second. I have a situation. All right, guys. Sorry. Fucking Rusty. Shanna let him out, but didn't bring him back in, and he was out there barking, and I thought he got away for a second. So I had to go find Rusty. My bad. Fat Bald Nabalatan. Could this crime have been avoided if the sliding door was locked? If it was, he would have had to break in. Yeah, you know what? Again, I don't want to victim blame these four, poor innocent victims are gone in such a tragic, horrible way. They were killed. So there's really, I don't know if there's any point in asking the question, but I think we've all thought about it. And yeah, I think there's a good chance it would have. Maybe not. Maybe he would have broke the fucking window and got in the sliding glass door or whatever. But I think there's a good chance that he wouldn't have been willing to make that type of noise. Who wants to do that? There's a good chance that before you even make it out of the house, the cops are going to be there. So I don't want to say, because everybody will feel like shit. Dylan and Bethany, I'm sure they do. It's a horrible thing the door wasn't locked, because I do think it may have prevented this crime. But this is a good lesson to learn for people, even people who live in areas. You hear people all the time, I keep my doors unlocked at night. Don't stop that. It's not a good fucking idea. Okay. And yeah, unfortunately, we'll never know the answer, but I think most likely it could have prevented this crime. But it is what it is. Unfortunately, it's too late. No, it wasn't a knock on the door. It's fucking Rusty. Hold on, let me see. What is this? Oh, get him out of here. Get him out. He's fucking making fun of Lefty. Get him out of here. Junkbox hero. Fucking douchebag. He's got a picture of Lefty as his avatar. Get him out of here. George Butter asked the Chico. You're right. Fuck him. Don't give him chances. All right, let me get back to this, guys. I'm going to read the last part again just so, On December 23rd, 2022, pursuant to that search warrant, I received records for the 8458 phone from AT&T. These records indicated that the 8458 phone is subscribed to Bryan Kohberger at an address in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, and the account has been open since June 23rd, 2022. These records also included historical cell site location information for the 8458 phone. After receiving this information, I consulted with an FBI special agent that is certified as a member of the Cellular Analyst Survey Team. Members of CAST, a Cellular Analyst Survey Team, are certified with the FBI to provide expert testimony in the field of historical CSLI and are required to pass extensive training that includes both written and practical examinations prior to be certified with CAST, as well as the completion of yearly certification requirements. I'm going to skip blah, blah, blah. Basically, it says, with the assistance from that special agent, I was able to determine estimated locations for the 8458 phone from November 12th, 2022 to November 13th, 2022, the time period authorized by the court. Let me see something. All right, we're very close to the end. On November 13th, 2022, at approximately 2:42 a.m., the 8458 phone was utilizing cellular resources that provide coverage to 1630 Northeast Valley Road, apartment G201, Pullman, Washington, hereafter the Kohberger residence. At approximately 2:47 a.m., the 8458 phone utilized cellular resources that provide coverage southeast of the Kohberger residence, consistent with the 8458 phone leaving the Kohberger residence and traveling south through Pullman, Washington. This is consistent with the movement of the white Elantra. At approximately 2:47 a.m., the 8458 phone stops reporting to the network, which is consistent with either the phone being in an area without cellular coverage, the connection to the network is disabled, such as putting the phone in airplane mode, or that the phone is turned off. So there you go. He turned it off at 2:47 a.m. Okay. The 8458 phone does not report to the network again until approximately 4:48 a.m., at which time it utilized cellular resources that provide coverage to ID State Highway 95 south of Moscow. Moscow, Idaho, near Blaine, Idaho, north of Genesee. Between 4:50 a.m. and 5:26 a.m., the phone utilizes cellular resources that are consistent with the 8458 phone traveling south on Idaho State Highway 95 to Genesee, Idaho, then traveling west towards Uniontown, Idaho, and then north back into Pullman, Washington. Fucking confusing. At approximately 5:30 a.m., the 8458 phone is utilizing resources that provide coverage to Pullman, Washington, and consistent with the phone traveling back to the Kohberger residence. The 8458 phone's movements are consistent with the movements of the white Elantra that is observed traveling north on Stadium Drive at approximately 5:27 a.m. Based on a review of the 8458 phone's estimated locations and travel, the 8458 phone's travel is consistent with that of the white Elantra. So, like I said, you don't often hear me doing this, but props to these fucking cops, because holy shit, they nailed it. Further review indicated that the 8458 phone utilized cellular resources on November 13th, 2022 that are consistent with the 8458 phone leaving the area of the Kohberger residence at approximately 9 a.m. and traveling to Moscow, Idaho. Specifically, the 8458 phone utilized cellular resources that would provide coverage to the King Road residence between 9:12 a.m. and 9:21 a.m. The 8458 phone next utilized cellular resources that are consistent with the 8458 phone traveling back to the area of the Kohberger residence and arriving to the area at approximately 9:32 a.m. Below is a depiction, not to scale, of the possible route taken based off of cellular site locations. So it shows a picture. It's not really important of the route, but it goes on to say investigators found that the 8458 phone did connect to a cell phone tower that provides service to Moscow on November 14, 2022. But investigators do not believe the 8458 phone was in Moscow on that date. The 8458 phone has not connected to any towers that provide service to Moscow since that date. Based on my training, experience, and the facts of the investigation thus far, I believe that Kohberger, the user of the 8458 phone, was likely the driver of the white Elantra that is observed departing Pullman, Washington, and that this vehicle is likely suspect vehicle 1. Additionally, the route of travel of the 8458 phone during the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022, and the lack of the 8458 phone reporting to AT&T between 2:47 a.m. and 4:48 a.m. is consistent with Kohberger attempting to conceal his location during the quadruple homicide that occurred at the King Road residence. All right, so only about 3 pages left. Let me read some comments real quick, and I'll go back to it. Let's take a walk and talk with Lefty. I'm really triggering these guys by putting... Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a mob tube related. We'll get to that stuff after this. What time is it? All right, it's almost midnight, so I'll be done soon. And maybe for an hour or something, maybe I'll bring some people on to talk about this with me, like we usually do. So let me finish this up, all right, guys? On December 23rd, 2022, I was granted a search warrant for Kohberger's historical CSLI from June 23, 2022 to current prospective location information and a pen register trap and trace on the 8458 phone to aid in efforts to determine if Kohberger stalked any of the victims in the case prior to the offense. All right, so now he's tracing the phone to see if he was in the same goddamn area as the girls. I conducted surveillance on the King Road residence, was in contact. I'm sorry, let me start this over. On December 23rd, 2022, I was granted a search warrant for Kohberger's historical CSLI from June 23rd, 2022 to current prospective location information and a pen register trap and trace on the 8458 phone to aid in efforts to determine if Kohberger stalked any of the victims in this case prior to the offense, conducted surveillance of the King Road residence, was in contact with any of the victims' associates before or after the alleged offenses, any locations that might contain evidence of the murders that occurred on November 13th, 2022, the location of the white Elantra registered to Kohberger, as well as the location of Kohberger. On December 23rd, 2022, pursuant to the search warrant, I received historical records for the 8458 phone from AT&T from the time the account was opened in June 2022. After consulting with Cast SA, special agent, I was able to determine estimated locations for the 8458 phone from June 2022 to present, the time period authorized by the court. The records for the 8458 phone show the 8458 phone utilizing cellular resources that provide coverage to the area of 1122 King Road on at least 12 occasions prior to November 13th, 2022. All of these occasions, except for one, occurred in the late evening and early morning hours of their respective days. So there you go, guys. On 12 different occasions between June 2022 and the date of the murders, his phone was pinging in the area of the house where the murders took place. They all took place basically in the late evening and early morning hours, except for on one particular occasion. Okay? So he was stalking them late at night and early morning. He was obviously trying to figure out their routines, their patterns, when they're home, when they're not, probably when the lights go off, when the lights go on. Some of us have done things like burglarize homes and plan robberies and things like that, and we understand what he was doing there. He was casing the place. Okay. On one of these occasions, on August 21st, 2022, the 8458 phone utilized cellular resources providing coverage to the King Road residents from approximately 10:34 p.m. to 11:35 p.m. At approximately 11:37 p.m., Kohberger was stopped by a Latah County Sheriff's Deputy Corporal Duke, as mentioned above. The 8458 phone was utilizing cellular resources consistent with the location of the traffic stop during this time, Farm Road and Pullman Highway. So I wonder if this means 10:34 p.m. to 11:35 p.m. I wonder if he was, see, my question is, and I'm sure a lot of you people want to know the same thing, was he actually at the house? I mean, this was a party house. Would it be surprising? I mean, he was a total outcast and shit, but they had people in and out of the house. The way it looked to me, you could just walk up in there, you know what I mean, and just start hanging the fuck out, and nobody's going to ask who you are, where you came from. He's a younger guy, just like the rest of them, and he's hanging out, grab a beer, whatever, and just walk around like you fucking belong there. I wonder if he did that. That's a long time, an hour and 1 minute, basically, of just sitting there. Further analysis of the cellular data provided showed that the 8458 phone utilized cellular resources on November 13th, 2022, consistent with the phone traveling from Pullman, Washington to Lewistown, Idaho, via U.S. Highway 195. At approximately 12:36 p.m., the 8458 phone utilized cellular resources that would provide coverage to Kate's Cup of Joe coffee stand located at 810 Port Drive, Clarkston, Washington. Surveillance footage from the U.S. Chef store located at 820 Port Drive, Clarkston, Washington, and adjacent to Kate's Cup of Joe showed a white Elantra consistent with suspect vehicle 1. Drive past Kate's Cup of Joe at a time consistent with cellular data from the 8458 phone. At approximately 12:46 p.m., the 8458 phone then utilized cellular data in the area of Albertson Grocery Store at 400 Bridge Street in Clarkston, Washington. Surveillance footage obtained from the Albertsons showed Kohberger exit the white Elantra consistent with the suspect vehicle 1 at approximately 12:49 p.m. Interior surveillance cameras showed Kohberger walk through the store, purchase unknown items at the checkout, and leave approximately 1:04 p.m. Kohberger's possible path of travel is depicted below. All right, and like I said, that's just a picture. It's not real important. Additional analysis of records for the 8458 phone indicated that between approximately 5:32 p.m. and 5:36 p.m., the 8458 phone utilized cellular resources that provide coverage to Johnson, Idaho. The 8458 phone then stops reporting to the network from approximately 5:36 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. That is consistent with the 8458 phone being in the area. Wait a minute. That is consistent with the 8458 phone being the area that the 8458 phone traveled in the hours immediately following the suspected times the homicides occurred. All right. This is it, guys. Last couple of paragraphs. On December 27th, 2022, Pennsylvania agents recovered the trash from the Kohberger family residence located in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. That evidence was sent to the Idaho State Lab for testing. On December 28th, 2022, the Idaho State Lab reported that a DNA profile obtained from the trash and the DNA profile obtained from the sheath identified a male as not being excluded as the biological father of suspect profile. Right? At least 99.9998% of the male population would be expected to be excluded from the possibility of being the suspect's biological father. So, in other words, it's the suspect's biological father. Okay, the DNA from the trash matched the DNA from the sheath in a way that indicated that the DNA taken from the trash belonged to the suspect's father. Based on the above information, I am requesting a warrant issued, blah, 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 for the murders of Madison Mogan, Kaylee Gonsalves, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. I declare under penalty of perjury pursuant to the law of the state of Idaho that the foregoing is true and accurate. Madon. Okay, I'm so glad that's over. Jesus Christ. I probably could have left some of that stuff out, but I wanted you guys to get the whole thing. Sorry if I fucked up reading it at certain parts, whatever, but you got the idea. Now you got all the information. Okay, and that's going to lead me to say this one more time. 195 people still left, 2 hours and 20 minutes in. We got a lot of show to go. Please, if you can, donate to the channel. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, or Super Chat, Super Sticker, whatever way you can. I would appreciate it very much. The channel needs donations. I read that one earlier. I don't know why. I just got a notification for it. I can't wait for my man, Dwayne Polizzi, to be back. Dwayne, where are you, Dwayne? I need you, bro. Jesus. I wasn't kidding when I said Dwayne had been carrying this channel for some time. Let me see something. Good chance he walked up in there and cased the layout. Yeah, you know, all this stuff leads you to question. Or did he get in the house? Forget a party and people being awake and all. Did he get in the house while they were asleep on different occasions? Did he check out the layout? You know what I mean? Of the house, the bedrooms, the closets, whatever. Who knows? Who knows if he spent some serious time in that house or just around it? We don't know. And we may never know. But another true crime podcaster brought up a good point today. They should be checking all over that house for DNA. Because who knows? Maybe they will find DNA in a closet, in the attic. You never know. Maybe the fucking guy was nesting in there, as they call it. It's very possible. All right, Michael McDonald. I won't argue with you. Thank you for doing that, bro. Can you read us your theory on quantum physics now, FBS? No. As a matter of fact, I can't do any more reading. I've had it. That was enough for the night. Show would have lasted 10 hours if Lee had to read that. Frankie DeChico, yeah, no bullshit. No bullshit. I was thinking that while I was reading it. It would have been butchered. He would have ignored punctuation. Things would have been read all crazy, out of whack, probably out of order, fucking pronunciations. It would have been all fucked up. 90% of those words would have been butchered. Lee could never have done what I just did. Never. He sucks. That's true, too. Yeah, you can pull up the blueprint of damn near anybody's fucking house online. Oh, there's my man. Chris Capello. Thank you so much. $30. Thank you, bro. Yeah, Chris Capello, though, I feel bad. You know, he's donated so much over the holidays and stuff. Such a good guy. I'd love to get some new donors, guys. Even if you've been here forever, but you've never donated before. Try to find it in your heart and throw me a few fazools. We'll be friends till the end, like Chucky said. Can you imagine Lee trying to pronounce Xana Kernodle? No. No. I'm very suspicious of that surviving chick that's seen him and had hatred for Maddie. Yeah, me too, bro. And I'm going to study that TikTok after this and get a better idea of what's going on there, because there's no excuse from that girl. There's no excuse. Listen, I wouldn't doubt, although they might have sympathy for her, I don't know, but I wouldn't doubt if someday you saw a lawsuit pop up, or one day you see a lawsuit pop up from one of the victims' families against Dylan Mortensen. Seriously. You never know. Because who knows how much she knew, about what was going on. I'm not saying she knew. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying she knew the guy was going to come there and kill him. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that maybe she realized that something horrible was taking place and her friends were being hurt, possibly even killed, and she chose to just say, fuck it, and close the door and go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Yes, very true, William Brooklyn. Thank you for pointing that out. Look at my man Alex right here. Alex, thank you very much. $49.99. Lee might not be able to pronounce words, LOL, but he knows how to count. Views, that's about it. Yeah. Oh, and my money. Yeah, I get it, Alex. Thank you. Yes. He's counting my money. Yes. This pisses him off right here. Thank you, Alex. Yeah, hey guys, if you want to make Lee and Angel eat shit, all you got to do is donate to FBS. Makes me feel better, makes them feel worse. What better reason could there be? I'm going to drop the link now, guys. And while I'm dropping the link, or after I drop the link, I should say, I'm going to run into the kitchen and get myself a nice cold drink. Non-alcoholic beverage, of course, my usual Rutter's iced tea. Maybe a bottle of water as well. So give me just a second. And anybody, Jeff Nadeau, you said you might want to jump on. My man Howie, if you're watching, you said earlier you might want to jump on. Anybody, grab the link. Come on and talk. Chad D, whoever. All right? I'll be right back, guys. Forgot my goddamn cup. I'm keeping an eye on Rusty. He definitely looks like he's up to no good in the living room in there. Let's see. Drop it again to make sure I drop the right one. If nobody joins, that's cool. Not a problem at all. I'll just keep going for a few minutes here. So listen, that's my big takeaway from this. I mean, the fucking affidavit doesn't tell us a whole lot. It doesn't tell us, for example, about each victim's injuries. It doesn't tell us, the gory details, so to speak, which is fine. It's probably better off. We don't know, honestly. We know they're no longer here. That's bad enough. And, it's probably a good thing because the poor parents of these victims, they have to deal with the fact that there's 9,000 true crime podcasts and news programs and everything else talking about this 24 hours a day. It's probably better that they don't have to deal with knowing that all the fucking details about their loved ones' injuries and stuff are being talked about as well. So I don't know. It's probably a good thing, but the information we got is good. At least we know where the DNA came from now. We know exactly how they tracked down the Elantra and how they used that information to track him and stuff like that. We know how they got his cellular phone information and how they used that. We know what the stops were about, the traffic stops. But most importantly, I can't help but dwell on it a little bit. I just can't let it go. I mean, all this time we were under the impression that Dylan and Bethany were asleep. Now, I thought, because that's the way it was reported, Dylan and Bethany were on the first floor. It's been reported like that the whole time. Now we're finding out Dylan was on the second floor. You know, and it's kind of blowing my mind for a specific reason. I saw a video, I think Mini 560 sent it to me, that was basically a 3D walkthrough of the house. And I could be wrong, but it looked to me like the rooms on the second floor are directly across from each other, divided by nothing but a hallway. And you know, what's the average width of a hallway? Maybe 5 feet, something like that. Okay, so if I'm right and she was that close to the fucking room where Ethan and Xana were being butchered, then something needs to happen with this chick, because there's no fucking excuse. You know what I mean? But even if they were separated by a greater distance on the second floor, I don't believe her that she only heard some whispers or Kaylee on the third floor saying, maybe on the third floor, fine. But on the second floor, I don't believe, that she only heard what she said she heard. I don't believe it. Some crying or the dog barking, or even if the dog was on the third floor, whatever, it don't fucking matter. But even the second floor alone, I just don't believe it. I don't believe that's all she heard. If she was on the second floor, if she was on the first floor and she said those things, I would have been like, all right, it's possible, because that first floor was kind of like a basement. If you look at how the house is set up, the first floor is like here. The second and third floors are back here. You know what I mean? So I could picture that anything coming from the second or third floors would be pretty faint or hard to understand or even recognize, whatever. But she was on the second floor. If you guys look at the layout of that house, it's just a little stairway that goes up to the third floor. You know what I mean? And it's a big open area. So I just can't imagine that Xana was butchered and was awake. Okay, when she was being slaughtered. Ethan, who knows? He was sleeping or awake, I'm not sure. Kaylee and Maddie were most likely awake too. I can't believe that all Dylan heard after opening the door 3 times is what she said she heard. I can't believe that she didn't know that her roommates just got killed. I won't believe it. I don't believe it. I just don't. There's no fucking way. There's no way. And I hope that they're still questioning her thoroughly. I hope that they're looking further into this, because something isn't right here. Something is not right. See, all day I've been listening to this, and I was still under the impression she was on the first floor. Just now when I was reading it to you is when I realized she was on the second. And now I really don't believe it. Now I really don't believe it. You know what I mean? How's that possible? When I'm on the second floor of this house, I hear everything. If my stepson has his TV too loud, I hear it. If my mom has her TV loud or music on, I hear it. If my mom goes to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I hear her door open and close and the bathroom door open and close. Same thing with my stepson. I can't miss it. You know what I mean? And this is an average, normal-sized house. So I couldn't even imagine screaming, a dog barking, people fighting for their lives. Defensive wounds prove that, some of them were fighting for their lives. That girls, the way girls can scream. And I mean, they had to be screaming at the top of their fucking lungs. The dog had to be going ape shit. There had to be thumping and pounding and everything. There fucking had to be. There had to be bangs and thuds and all that shit. How could there not be? I got to fix this now. How could there not be? You know what I'm saying? I'm sure there was some wrestling around, while certain victims were trying to defend themselves. I'm sure things got knocked over, dropped, during the struggle. I can't imagine how this is possible. And I think I think this girl is probably going to be tortured by the media and true crime podcasts and stuff because of this. And in a way, that's a shame, because maybe somehow there was some extenuating circumstance that led this chick, after everything she saw and heard, to believe that nothing bad was happening. Maybe there was something, and it could all be explained away, and she's just a poor innocent victim. I don't know. But I left out. She saw the guy, the intruder. She saw an intruder in black with a mask on. She saw that. He stared at her. She froze. Then he walked out through the sliding glass door. So even after everything you heard, seeing the actual intruder, that didn't set off any alarm bells. You just locked yourself in your room and went to sleep. I don't get it. I don't get it. FBS, they also said he drove back by the house at 9:30 a.m. after the murders. Yeah, I read that part. I should have commented on it more, but yeah. Yeah, and that happens often too. You know, motherfuckers, you know, they returned to the scene of the crime and shit. He probably wanted to see what exactly was taking place. But here's the crazy part. The police weren't even called till like noon, right? So nothing was happening. Even he was probably like, what the fuck? Stone Sailor, $5. Great informative show tonight, Chris. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, I saw that too. The Sit Down, a Crime History podcast, $5. Defense will rip her apart and knock down her claim of what he looked like. They will say, well, you were drunk or whatever. How can we believe it? Good point. And they'll have a point. Because if she says, no, I'm sure, I know what I saw, they'll say, well, then why the fuck didn't you tell anyone? Why didn't you call anyone? Why didn't you go check on your roommates? Excellent point, Jeff Nadeau. Yes, excellent point. FBS chat, I ask you, how do I talk to the family after his daughter killed? I don't know what that means, bro. I have no idea what you mean. Oh, all right, Robert B. Have a good night, my friend. Sleep well. Is there any proof she could have participated? Who knows? You know, I heard somebody earlier say, or somebody in the comments, I think, said, you know, maybe he asked if anyone else got arrested. I mean, who knows what the fuck? I think that was just, you know, deliberate misdirection. I think he was just trying to throw them off, but who knows? So anyway, listen, I think that's it for the night. I'm worn out and exhausted. I will say this, though. Aside from this subject, some mob tube business. About 5 a.m. this morning, I dropped a video. And I'll tell you what that video was. And I'm going to talk about this on my next show. But I just want to go over this with you guys, especially since Lee is probably watching. Lee made a comment on Angel's show last night that was sent to me. Okay. In that comment, he said that I'm the real racist. First of all, Lee, you lied. Lee said that when I read those comments from Lee, the racist stuff that he left on Twitter, LeBron James made a statement. Matter of fact, let me see if they're still up. Let me just go over this real quick. All right, LeBron James said, the most disrespected person on earth is the black woman. I promise you, I'll do my best to change this as much as I can and even more. Love to you queens all over this country and beyond. Now, you saw what Lee said to that. Now, what I said, and you can go back and watch my show, is that I don't agree personally on what he said as far as the most disrespected person on earth is the black woman. That's it. Why? I just don't agree. No big deal. There's nothing behind it. I just have opinions of other types of people who I feel are more disrespected. Okay? He lied on Angel's show last night. He lied. And he said that I said, or that I was angry or something, and that I didn't agree with LeBron James about black women being queens or something. But the point is, he lied. It was stupid, but he lied because he was trying to make me sound like the race. Oh, he was so angry. He got so mad at LeBron for saying black women are queens. What? I didn't even mention that part of the comment. All I said, all right, bro, what's up? Oh, okay. It's good you got a new number. Holy shit, that's almost the same as my old number. That's crazy. Anyway, one of my old numbers. Where was I at? Oh, shit. That's crazy, Jeff. He just sent me a picture of Dylan hanging with someone who looks a lot like Bryan Kohberger's sister. Wow. That would be fucking crazy, bro. I don't know what to say to that. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Thank you for that, Jeff. I didn't say that. Now, I will tell you this. Anytime somebody calls a group of women queens, I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous. Are all black women queens? Are all white women queens? I don't know. I think queen, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just silly. I don't do that myself. I don't say, hey, all my white queens out there. You know what I mean? It's just silly to me. Does it make me angry that LeBron calls all black women queens? No. A lot of people do that. I don't care. I am not a black person. I don't even feel like it's my fucking place to comment on. If you are a black man and you feel like all black women are queens, okay. You have every right to. What the fuck is wrong with that? But the point is, he lied. He lied. Okay? Again. Lee got caught lying again. Next thing he got caught lying about, he said, because he was trying to prove that I'm the racist, the guy who, any picture you've seen me in, I'm surrounded by black people. Like my entire, I'd say a good, I don't know, 3/4 of my life, I've been around nothing but black people, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans. I mean, that's literally my circle of friends. I I guess, Lee is trying to deflect. So I'm the actual racist. Sure. So he says, what was it? Oh, that I've been on a show where the N-word was dropped. And I laughed. And then he said, you have actually been on a couple of shows where the N-word was used, FBS. Well, it depends on what you're talking about. Are you talking about SoFlo using it on my show? Because Lee, SoFlo is black. Therefore, that's no different than if I played a rap song on my show where the N-word was dropped. If you're talking about Jimmy Calandra's show when Willie Galloway come on, yeah, we laughed. I own that. I don't care. Not because I think the word's funny. I was shocked that he said it. It was fucking funny. It was like, holy shit, this fucking guy's a lunatic. He's Lily White and he just dropped the M-word. It caught us by surprise. I don't hide from that. What do I give a fuck? Although, once I heard him say that, because this is what he said. He said, FBS, you've been on a show where the N-word was dropped. As a matter of fact, you've been on a couple of shows where the N-word was dropped. I was never on a show where the N-word was dropped. That's what he said. Right away, I thought instantly, John A. Light interview. John A. Light interview. The N-word is dropped twice. By who? John A. Light. John A. Light calls himself a real N-word with the hard R. The hard R. You know what I mean? Then he says it again with the not so hard R. And if you watch the video, Lee is just like, doesn't have a reaction, doesn't, give any pushback, just like, okay, no problem. Right? Johnny Light is Albanian. Okay. I don't think that's a word he can use, right? So I was like, yeah, I'm going to put this together and I'm going to tag him and Angel in it. You know what I mean? So I put the video together like 5 o'clock this morning. It was him on Angel Gotti's show saying, I've never been on a show where that word was used. And then it was literally a clip of his show and John A. Light using the word on Lee Cole's show. And I put it up. But I knew it was going to cause trouble. Within 5 minutes of putting it up, YouTube age restricted it, which is no big deal. But I don't like it. I don't like to have any types of violations on my channel. So I deleted it right away. But you guys would laugh your ass off if you saw it. Because 1 second, Lee's saying, guys, I'm telling you, this dude is pathological. He'll lie to you, to your face about things you know are a lie, and he'll have a straight face. He said, you think he forgot that John A. Light dropped the N-word on his show? No, he's just a liar. Do you think he actually made a mistake and thought that I said something about LeBron James' Queen's comment? No, he's just a liar. So he changes history. That's Lee Cole is the history rewriter. He rewrites history. So 1 second he's saying, I've never been on a show where the N-word was used. And the next second you see, not only was he on a show, it was his show. It was on an interview he conducted. So, I just want to get that out there. Lee, you're a fucking liar, bro. Like I said, every claim you make, every word you speak, there is something from your past that contradicts it directly. Plus, you said those comments were from 5 years ago, and Kane Shade said 2019. You're both wrong. This is from 11/9/20. Your comment is from 11/11/20. Your next comment is from 11/12/20. Okay, and on this one, 9/23/20. Okay, your comment was on 9/25/20. Okay, so they were all from 2020. Right? You're a fucking liar, Lee. But I'm going to talk more about that on the next show. I just wanted to get that out because unless I get some of my MobTube business out of my brain, I don't feel right about the show I just finished up, Let me see. I don't know, Benny D. Over. No, I've certainly never used it. And let me tell you something. My circle of black friends wouldn't have given a shit, but I just don't. It's not for me to use. That's the way I see it. What's the fucking need? And I hate that word. I even think that when black people call each other that, I think it's retarded. I think it's like you're using the most derogatory term you could ever possibly use to describe your race. You're using that as a greeting, and a fucking, it's stupid. I'll never understand it. Never in my life. You know what I mean? But I really hate it when it's used by white people. You know what I mean? So, that's it. Listen, Lee, I trust me. That's his favorite word. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. He mentioned he had 3 kids of color. Yeah, and Angel asked him about it. Yeah. And she said, oh, so Casper Rose is a person of color? And what he say? I don't want to get into this. Of course you don't, because you're lying. Yeah, you were married to a Puerto Rican woman, I believe. So what? I don't even know that you have kids with her. You have 1 kid, Lee, and 2 stepkids. And TJ is not a person of color. I don't think the 4th is either. And the other one, I'm quite sure she isn't. So stop with that bullshit lying, please. That's something white people say when they know they just said something racist. You know what I mean? When they know they just said something racist, they cover it up with something like, all my friends are black. Or my John A. Light in the clip actually said his bodyguard was black. It was hilarious. And that's why he could use the N-word. I mean, the old my bodyguard was black gag. You know? And that's Lee. That's why he said his kids were, all his kids were people of color. Because he realized, oh shit, what I just said is pretty fucked up. You know what I mean? And Lee lied to Angel. You know what Lee said to Angel? He said, matter of fact, oh no, I can't. Fuck. Nah. Let me think how I can do this. It don't matter. You saw the comments, right? Let's put them back up. Lee says, oops. Let me get the comment off the screen. Lee says, the first thing black women need to do is stop getting pregnant by guys that have 5 other kids with 5 other women. That's the reality. Not one of those losers are going to support their children. Your pickers are broke ladies. Then he said, it's called facts. Just because you, all right, that don't matter. Okay. That's what he said. Okay. What's the next one? Yes, most black women are disrespected by black men, beaten, abandoned, usually for a white woman. No child support should go on. Just dribble the basketball and stop trying to be smart. Okay, so he says most black women are disrespected, beaten, abandoned by black men. Okay, this is, and I'm racing through that because I shouldn't even be saying it on YouTube. Okay. You know what he told Angel when Angel, in her supreme airheadedness, asked him what he said in the comments? He said, "All I said is that black women or black men usually leave their women for white women. That's all I said." Oh, is that all you said? You didn't say about them beating them and abandoning them and not paying child support? You're a fucking liar. And Angel, you're stupider for believing him. If that's all he said, you think I would have even talked about it? It's like, all right, well, stupid thing to say, but no news there. Nah, bro, you went way further than that. And Casperosa has even more comments up in his community post. So, but what does it matter? What does it matter? You could prove things to these people all day. They only believe what they want to believe. That's all there is to it. Let me just see something here. All right. Well, that's it, guys. I want to thank everybody for being here. Everybody who donated, thank you very much. I appreciate you. I love you for doing that. It means the world to me. It's the only reason I can continue to do these shows. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And everybody just for being here, I appreciate you. I hope you could hit the like button on the way out so Lee Cole doesn't make fun of me. Holy shit. Hold on. Let me see something. The fuck is all this? I stand behind every one of these tweets. This is from 10 hours ago. Do you stand behind your Marxist views? Of course not. So he stands behind every one of those tweets. Racist Lee. Good old redneck racist Lee. Fucking Confederate flag waving douchebag. All right, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for everything. Oh, yeah, Kane Shades. Yeah, of course. Thank you for, that's the other one. When he said, FBS, you were on a lot of shows where the N-word was dropped. You mean when your friend Kane Shades was doing it on here? Yeah, I guess you got a point. Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, thanks for everything. Hit the like button on the way out. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to donate after the show, please use the super thanks button. I love you all. And until next time, salute.